Not far from where the Allegheny and the Monongahela meet to form the Ohio River is Heinz Field, just across from the Point in downtown Pittsburgh, side of week 3 of the college football season. We welcome you to our coverage here on ESPN 360. I'm John Sanders along with Drew Haddad. Prior to the start of the season, the Panthers were the pick in the Big East.
They were. They came off a strong season last year and got the most points in the preseason as far as what they're going to do this year and as far as how well they're going to be. And it's truly good to see them out here and getting off to a good start.
Let's check out those Big East preseason standings with the Panthers right on the top, followed by West Virginia. Mountaineers are also 2-0. Cincinnati, South Florida, Rutgers, UConn, Louisville, Syracuse. You know, prior to the start of the season, there was not a Big East team ranked in the top 25, which is unusual.
It really is unusual to actually have a Big East team, Cincinnati, the Rutgers of the world, these teams that really have been formidable opponents for a lot of outside conferences. Not to have somebody in those rankings is unusual.
And the fact that Navy's beaten BCS teams is really no surprise. They've done it 13 times, trying for number 14 here today. Let's take a look at the impact players for the Midshipmen of Navy, the quarterback, and also on defense, Ross Pospisil.
Yeah, Ricky Dobbs obviously is the catalyst for this offense. For Navy, it starts and stops with him. He has all the decision-making on his shoulders, whether to hand the ball off to the fullback, whether to keep it himself, make the pitch, and he brings a different element that he can actually throw the ball, which has to get them on their toes defensively. And Ross Pospisil coming off a 100-tackle season last year. You know, 17 consecutive starts. He's a leader, he's a captain, and he does that for a reason.
Let's talk more about Dobbs, because certainly he is the key to this offense. Dobbs has been very successful. He's rushed for 4 touchdowns, passed for 2 more, and you see that first time they've had back-to-back 100-yard passing game in a long time.
Yeah, he's a special player, and they really are happy about what he's doing in his performances the past 2 weeks. He's a leader on and off the field. He's a guy that everyone goes to, and you could tell when he's got his thing going for Navy, they are very successful.
They have been successful 1-1. They've fallen behind in both of their first 2 games. Pittsburgh coming off a huge win at Buffalo last week. Bill Stuller's their quarterback, and then you talk about a freshman, Dion Lewis.
Yeah, we'll start with Bill Stull. You know, he coming off last week against Buffalo. He had 3 touchdown passes in the first half. Consistent, solid player for Pitt. And you can't talk about Pitt without talking about Dion Lewis. You see there he had 200-yard rushing games to start the season as a true freshman. Started off against Youngstown State with a 129-yard performance and followed that up with another 190 yards last week at Buffalo. Captivating an awesome day on the ground. This guy can do it all. He's very strong. He's physical. Even though he's small in stature, he has 159.5 rushing yards per game. That's 3rd in the FBS. Special player, and he actually culminated this whole game last week with an 85-yard touchdown run in the 4th quarter, putting it well out of reach for the University of Buffalo. He's a special kid.
And the 85-yard touchdown run certainly shows some of the speed that he has. He's done a great job replacing LaShawn McCoy. Let's talk about the keys for the Midshipmen.
Yeah, for Navy, they have to control the ball. When we talk about this, we're talking about on offense, their running game, being consistent, getting in 2nd and 3rd in makeable situations, establishing the running game and trying to get in and out of the huddle as fast as possible, doing that at a fast pace. Now, defensively, if they can stop the run, if they can force Pittsburgh to throw the ball a little bit, it'll kind of keep them on their toes. That'll be very important.
Let's turn it around. Take a look now at the keys for the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the keys for the University of Pittsburgh, make every snap count. Coach Wanstedt was harping on every snap offensively for them, making it important and making it vital. And on defense, they want to limit those big plays. They want to keep them in those short, those long situations, 3rd and 13s, 3rd and 12s. Get Navy out of their comfort zone and force turnovers.
We'll see if that works out for the Panthers this afternoon. Last time they went 3-0 to start a season was back in the year 2000. Niamata Lolo is the head coach of the Naval Academy, and he's been there for a while, even though this is his first full year as the head coach. He did take over after the win over Army last year and coached them in another bowl game. They've been to 6 straight bowls, so they're for real.
Yeah, they are. They're very impressive, and you're watching them on tape and you see how fast and the team speed. That's something that's very important, not only in the Big East but in these games as well. Dave
Wanstedt, the head coach at the University of Pittsburgh, of course, played for the University of Pittsburgh. He was a captain on the 73 team, which was the first year for Tony Dorsett, who went on to have a pretty decent career, didn't he?
Yeah, you know what, guys like that, and you have those names in your mind when you're talking about Pitt football, those are special players. And yeah, Tony Dorsett goes without saying what a remarkable athlete he was.
Sadler and Reed deep to receive the opening kickoff, and it'll be Teague, who will be kicking. Ron Teague, who's going to be a Navy SEAL once his college days are finished. And of course, you have to remember that these midshipmen have a 5-year military commitment after they graduate.
Yeah, it's very impressive, their commitment and everything that they do on and off the field.
A little bit of a short kick, and it's going to be taken up front by Reed. Loose football. And the midshipmen had it for a moment. Did they get it back again?
I couldn't see. Looks like they're down on the bottom of the pile there. Number 54 had a shot at it.
Latavius Bush was there first, and somehow the Panthers came up with it. And the problem here for Navy was they tried to pick the ball up and run.
Yeah, they were looking for the scoop and score here. Yeah, I think that's trying to get the ball there is Ramvella. He was trying to pick it up and get in that end zone, make a big play to start off with. It looks like they had a little skirmish down there at the bottom, but they showed the fake reverse, tried to keep Navy on their toes, little misdirection. And Vela just, took his eye off the ball there for a little bit, trying to get his eyes upfield to get in that end zone.
And that's not a place that you want to be. Derek Turner is in there. The lone setback is Lewis. Dickerson is the tight end. He's been their leading receiver at tight end, powering the way forward to about the 17-yard line. Jabari Tuwani made the tackle for the midshipman, number 98.
Yeah, Tuwani's a very special player for them. He does a lot of stuff. Last week against Louisiana Tech, he had an interception actually that kind of turned the tide when they got down 14-0 early. Real special player on defense for Navy. And
Dickerson comes out of the lineup now. Hynoski is in there. Byam is in there now as the tight end. You've got Baldwin split left, Turner split right as they operate out of the I formation. Here's the freshman. There's that little spin move, and he spins his way to a first down out near the 29-yard line. Boy, excellent run that time.
Yeah, Lewis, we talked about his elusiveness and how quick and his athleticism and what he does and the maturity that he brings to the game as a true freshman. You know what? It's unbelievable. You don't get these guys that often that can come into a program and take over for a LaShawn McCoy and have no drop-off.
Edwards made the tackle for the midshipmen. The ball at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Baldwin and Turner in there as the wideouts. Hynoski, the fullback, shifts into the slot. Byam is the tight end. And the tailback is the freshman, Dion Lewis. First pass of the afternoon or early evening is complete. Hynoski out of the backfield. You saw him shift into that slot formation, and he was open.
Yeah, it was a really good play call. It makes, you start the game easy. You get something downfield. You stretch the defense, see what kind of defense they're in. If they're not giving you anything down the field, dump it off to your fullback. Sure hands and get good yardage.
13 yards on that play. Byam back in as tight end now.
Yeah, you can see here when they go out to the flat and he has that first throw, it's his first read. Take it and see what the defense gives you, and you get 13 yards.
3 wideouts in this formation for Pittsburgh. McGee is in there along with Baldwin. And once again, the freshman Lewis, the lone setback, moves up a step or two. The ball is at the 42. And the quick look-in pass is complete. That's McGee who made the catch. The tackle by Haber. Another 13-yard pickup, and the Panthers right now, Drew, are moving the football. Yeah, they really are. You know what? Stoll had an option there. I think it was a pass-run option. He noticed that it was going to be man coverage, and you know what? He audibled to that and got a good pass across the middle, and McGee did the rest. Turner, Baldwin are the wide receivers. Lewis continues to be the lone setback. The ball on the Navy half of the 50-yard line, down near the 45. Here's the freshman. He puts his head down and is greeted right at the line of scrimmage. That's Nishak, Matt Nishak, number 59 from California, who made the tackle. You look at this Navy squad, and they, as I said, have dominated as far as controlling the Commander-in-Chief trophy. It'll be 2nd and 9. Hynoski and Lewis in the backfield behind the quarterback. It's Baldwin and Turner, the wideouts. Lewis hit at the line of scrimmage and fights his way forward for a couple of yards, making the tackle as Pospisil. We talked about him at the beginning. He's going to be in on a lot of stops. He really is. He's the leader on that defense. The defense kind of goes as he goes.
And you know what? This is what Navy needs to do. You know what? Pitt wants to run the ball on 1st and 2nd down and jam it down their throats. Navy stops the run, force them into a 3rd and 7+. That's where Navy needs to be defensively to kind of bring their blitz packages and kind of get their Pittsburgh on their toes.
Ball at the 43-yard line, 3rd down 7. This is the first 3rd down play on this drive. Turner and McGee in the backfield. It's a direct snap to the quarterback. Dumps it off, spinning, fighting for that 1st down is Baldwin. It's going to be close. We'll see where they spot it because that will tell the story. Middleton coming up to make the tackle, and it is a 1st down, so they convert their first 3rd down opportunity.
And on their first 3rd and 7, you know what? They brought a little bit of pressure. Navy's defense did to try and catch them off guard, and you know, still got the ball out of his hands as fast as he could and made a good completion to Baldwin.
Hynoski, the fullback. Tailback is Dion Lewis. Motion man is McGee. They've got 4 1st downs already, and even though they didn't have a good start on that last possession, Pospisil is there right again, number 51. He's one of the captains.
They came out that time, Pittsburgh did, with a running formation. I mean, if they go to the 2 tight end set, 1 wide receiver, they bring the receiver in motion. You get to see if they're in man or zone. They're running the ball, trying to do it. Pospisil's there again, and you know what? He's, like we said, he's the anchor in the middle of that defense, making plays for Navy.
Hynoski still the fullback, Lewis the tailback, Turner and Baldwin the wideouts. It's Byam at tight end. He splits out to the right. 2nd down and 9. Stahl drops it off. The catch is made right at the 30 and spun down just inside the 30-yard line. Pospisil again is in on the play.
Credit 51, Pospisil.
And Vela was there as well. He is down on the field now. Vela is down on the field.
Player down.
It looks like he may have gotten caught up in the wash there with Pospisil, trying to set up a screen for Pitt.
Now Stahl off to a 4-for-4 start, and you already talked, Drew, about how good he was at Buffalo last week. We've got more to come. A timeout here at Heinz Field on ESPN360.com. Stay with us. Vela went off to a nice hand from the hometown folks, and that seems to happen when Navy's playing. They get a lot of respect from the hometown or the opposition.
They really do, you know, and it goes without saying, you know, what their commitment is, not only to the football program, but to the country. Most guys, when they're playing games here, you know, they're thinking about who can play on Sunday. These guys bring a different mentality, their discipline, you know, their perseverance, and just the mentality they bring every day to getting in formations, to practice, to school. They have to take 15 credit hours, plus they have to get a minor in engineering. I mean, these kids are all well-rounded guys.
2 tight end formation. Byam and Dickerson are the tight ends. Baldwin and Turner the wide receivers, and the lone setback in the backfield is the freshman Dion Lewis, number 28. The pickup down to the 30. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Opening drive for Pittsburgh. Lewis hit, spun down. He'll get maybe a yard, and that's all before he's wrapped up on the play by Emmett Merchant, who had 13 tackles already this year and 1 interception. There's the freshman Lewis, and he's backed up by another freshman, Ray Graham.
Yeah, it looks like they're deciding early. Pitt here going for it on 4th down, you know, trying to make a statement early.
Well, they have controlled the football from the beginning. Again, a double tight formation. Baldwin, Turner the wideouts. 11th play of the opening drive, and 9:05 to play in the opening quarter. Stahl sets, fires, got a man at the 5-yard line. Knocked down there. Merchant made the hit. The pass was caught by Jonathan Baldwin from Aliquippa. That is his 8th catch on the year.
Yeah, Navy decided to play a little conservative, only brought 3 guys on the rush, getting them out a lot out there into the pattern. Baldwin goes up, makes a great play. You know what? They're very high on Jonathan Baldwin, talking about him being the most athletic guy they've had around here since Larry Fitzgerald. That's really good company.
We go back to the eye now with Hynoski lined up in front of Lewis. Turner is the wide receiver. Panthers continue to move. Stahl rolls, throws, got it for a touchdown. And the Panthers break on top. That's O'Derrick Turner, number 88, the redshirt senior from New Jersey, from Teaneck, New Jersey. High fives on the Panthers side of the field. That was an impressive drive that started at the 11-yard line.
It really was, and they try and get a little bit of misdirection, get the defense guessing. Derek Turner runs a nice little pivot route. Can't be stopped in that secondary when you're doing man-to-man on those Pitt receivers.
Hutchins for the point after. Out of the hold of Janako. Long snapper is John Frieger. The extra point is up and true. So the Panthers strike quickly. 8:31 to play first quarter, and the Panthers had the ball the entire time, marching right down the field. Stull went 6 for 6. It's Pitt 7 and Navy 0. Well, the Panthers had it for about 6.5 minutes, 6:29 to be exact, and they put the touchdown on the board. 7-0 is our score, a 6-yard pass play. It'll be Briggs kicking off for the Panthers. He has kicked off 11 times, and you can see what kind of weather we have here along the shores of the Allegheny River. It is a beautiful, beautiful late afternoon, early evening here in Pittsburgh.
Deep for Navy, 21.
Finity and Green are deep. And the kickoff will come for the Panthers from Luke Briggs. Pitt is on top. They've controlled the football the entire part of this first quarter. Very impressive drive. Plays, 78 yards, and the kick goes to Gigi Green. Green is nailed as he gets to the 25, and down he goes. Hit on the play that time by Pecora, Marco Pecora, who is a redshirt freshman, made the tackle for Pittsburgh.
23, Marco Pecora.
We're going to see how Navy responds here, coming down 7-0 to start this game after an opportunity to recover a fumble, and that drive never would have happened. So we'll see how Ricky Dobbs responds here and his teammates.
Here's Dobbs with his numbers. A couple of touchdowns, 1 interception. Curry and Doyle are the slot backs. Let's see how they run this offense for Navy. They've led the nation in rushing the last 4 years, Drew, but not so far this year. Dobbs will go nowhere on his first possession. Max Bruder was there to greet him.
Yeah, their running yardage per game is down a little bit, and that's just with the added element of Ricky Dobbs. Because he's in the backfield, because they can go 8-10 passes a game, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but for Navy, it is a lot. So they have an altered dimension there, and we're going to see that out today when they get into these spread formations, a couple different things that Navy isn't accustomed to doing.
Shoup checks in as a tight end for the Midshipmen. Alexander Teach is in there. The initial handoff was not there. The pitch a little bit late. Williams was all over him. That'll be a loss for Navy.
Yeah, it's extremely well defended here. They fake the handoff to Teach. He gets the pitch out. Marcus Curry right there had nowhere to go. It was a great play by Williams. Staying home, zoning outside, making sure if somebody does get that pitch man, that he's got a man to take care of him.
Doyle checks in at the other slot back now, and it's a great story for Turner. Washington and Myers are the wide receivers because he was in the hospital when fall practice started and missed the first week. He had to really hurry to get back, reclaim his spot. On the run, throwing deep down the left side, and it's overthrown. Incomplete. Coverage by Aaron Berry, who was the defensive MVP for Pittsburgh and Buffalo.
Yeah, and you remember here now, when you're doing this, you got to see if Navy is forced into 3rd and long, and they got to make those 3rd and 11s, 3rd and 12. That is not their comfort zone. We talked about that in the keys to the game, forcing him to roll to his left and throw a deep route. Not really in the MO for Navy.
Yellowhook will be punting. Aaron Smith deep for the Panthers, and Pitt should come out with decent field position because he's standing at his own 35-yard line. Good rush by Pitt. They bump into the kicker, and the flag comes out. The return down the sideline to the 45, but you can forget about that because he ran into the kicker.
Yeah, they got some good pressure back there, but calling it a personal foul.
It'll be an automatic first down. Devin Street ran into the kicker. Let's take another look. Pretty good penetration, but He turned his body and bumped the kicker down. So that's be an automatic first down for the Navy.
Yeah, Manny Williams right there. He had an opportunity to get in there and possibly make another big play for Pitt. Didn't go his way that time. And you know what? Those are the type of plays. Those are the things that Navy needs to happen for them to stay in this game. They're already getting close to midfield with that penalty. They're on the 40-yard line right now.
Shupin Curry. Curry is a slot back along with Teach. Curry's the one we mentioned had all the health problems at the start of training camp. Doyle, the other slot back, straight ahead, power running. They keep it on the outside, and Dan Mason is there for the University of Pittsburgh to make the tackle on the running back. Mason defensively.
Yeah, and in the open, we talked about, Ricky Dobbs' decision making. There's a lot on his shoulders running this offense. Being able to decide when to hand it off, when to keep it himself. And Pitt's defending it well. They're really trying to get out and get some separation on the outside to stop those long runs.
Well, Navy has trailed after the first quarter of each of its first 2 games, but they've been doing a good job on their early possessions. And there again, the Pittsburgh defense, led by Williams and Sheard, really stretched that play out and were able to make the tackle for a loss. But here's what you didn't want, Drew, another 3rd and long for the middies.
Exactly, and you can see up front, they're trying to get these defensive linemen down on the ground. Those cut blocks that you talk about, they have really quick offensive linemen. They're the smallest O-line in the country at 6'3", 260 on average. So what they have to do is utilize their quickness, get these defensive linemen on the ground. Pitt's doing a great job of staying on their feet and stretching these runner outside and making big plays for them.
Now Washington and Myers are the wide receivers. It is the slot backs are Curry and Teach. Motion man was Curry. And a good effort that time by the quarterback Dobbs to get it back to the 45-yard line. Gruder made the tackle. Max Gruder out of Charlotte, North Carolina, redshirt sophomore, and Dobbs has had really no space so far this afternoon.
No, he really hasn't. When it's tough, you put him in that position 2 straight times, 3rd and long, trying to make him throw the ball. You know what? Pitt feels as though their corners and their secondary is a lot more athletic than the receivers on Navy.
Delahook will punt, averaging almost 46 yards per kick this year. Deep man is Aaron Smith. Smith will take a look at this one and back away as it rolls deep into Panther territory inside the 5 to the 4. 51-yard kick. The Midshipmen are in the house here at Heinz Field, but their middies trail 7-0 to the Panthers. Right now it's the blue and gold of Pitt over the navy blue and gold of the Midshipmen of Navy from Annapolis. It's a great town. You've been to Annapolis?
It's beautiful out there. It is. Unbelievable.
And they've got there's always something special when you do a game involving a service academy.
It really is. There's a sense of pride. We talked about it before when an injured player is on the field. These home crowds, I don't know if you're at an Ohio State-Michigan game if you're going to hear a lot of cheers when a player, is getting up from being injured, but a certain sense of respect.
From the 5, 1st and 10. Out of the I formation, they'll shift 2 receivers to the left side of that formation. Hynoski in front, and there was a little bit of a movement by the tailback. That's got to be a flag, I think. Huh?
Yeah, Dion Lewis was getting a little bit of a head start there on that play.
A natural tendency when the ball's at your own 5.
The offense, 5 yards.
Yeah,
still first down.
Most of the time when you're doing that false start penalty, the ball's probably coming to you too. You're just a little excited. That tends to happen, and you're backed up. And now it's just half the distance. But Pitt's last possession, they got into the red zone. This year in the red zone, coming into the game, they were 10 of 11 for touchdowns.
Motion, 28 on the offense. That penalty declined.
Penalties decline. So by him in there is the tight end. You've still got the tandem of Hynoski and Lewis in the backfield. Heard from our referee for the first time this afternoon. It's Gary Patterson. We'll be hearing from him as the day goes along. Baldwin is out there as well for Pittsburgh. Lewis to the 10, and that's about it. Not much there. Pospisil leading the way, number 57. A pretty good lick on him that time.
He did. Yeah, this kid, you know what? He's a tough kid. To be able to watch him, live, you see him on tape, and you see how quick you know, some of these running backs are for Pospisil to go out there. Like we said, 100+ tackles last year. You know what? He makes things happen on the defense for Navy. When they talk about being undersized, Pospisil makes up that position.
Baldwin and Turner and McGee, 3 receivers in this formation. Dickerson is the tight end. He's been their top target as a tight end. Stull looks, pumps, throws deep and overthrows. Incomplete, intended over there for Baldwin. No chance for Jonathan, so it's the first 3 and out and the first incompletion of the day for Stull. He's been perfect until that one.
Yeah, and they went back to the well, you know, the play that they had last series, getting down close to the goal line where they went up top to Baldwin. They went back to that play again. He had him there. Ball just sailed on him a little bit.
Hutchins, one of the top punters in the country, does lead the Big East with a 47.4 average. And you can see it's been a long time since Navy has returned a kick for a touchdown. They will have good field position. Washington standing just inside the 50-yard line. Decent rush, nice kick, fair catch called for right at the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. It is a 42-yard punt by Dan Hutchins from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. He is a junior. So the Naval Academy will have it once again. The ball spotted at their own 48-yard line. A decent spot, Drew, to start this drive.
It really is. This is positive field position. Get Pitt backed up to start with, and then get a 3 and out, and see if you can capitalize on the offensive end.
Curry and Teach are the slot backs. Behind the quarterback, Dobbs. First man, there's the pitch, the late pitch, and that's going to be a plus yardage play. Fighting his way downfield that time. And a flag comes in late. Elijah Fields, who got the start in the absence of Andrew Taglianetti, a 17-yard pickup for the Naval Academy. Let's set the flag as well. See Dave Wanstadt not happy.
Personal foul, 31, 15 yards.
Personal foul called on
Automatic first down.
the University of Pittsburgh, and Wanstead does not agree.
No, he's not happy right now. You can tack 15 onto that, and that's, you know, that's another part of when Ricky Dobbs make the decision.
Well, that makes it a 32-yard gain if you count the run and the additional penalty. That was really accidental, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That was a little close. He was just following through with his action of in the field of play, and he actually tackled him out of bounds, but that was touchy.
Curry and Finnerty now in those slots for the Midshipmen. Alex Gruder, number 55, in there defensively to handle Teach.
And Teach comes into the game. You know, he was 3rd on the depth chart going into spring ball. Beats out 2 guys, comes in. He's a little bit undersized for that position typically. And you know what? He comes out and he's just a tough, hard-nosed kid. He's a little bit quicker, adds a little bit different dimension to that inside handoff for Navy's offense.
Finnerty is in there at a slot back along with Curry. First man through is going to have a first down. That's Teach. Alexander Teach, tackled by Mick Williams, but he gets the ball down close to the 10-yard line. And it's going to be it's going to be 3rd and short. I thought he had it, and they're going to mark him about a half a yard short.
And you see the wide splits by Navy. They're trying to create as many gaps as they can in that defensive front. By widening their splits, it gives them the access to be smaller, quicker, try to get these defensive linemen down, and once again, try and force 3rd and makeable.
That time Nelson goes wide left. Diving across for the first down. Dobbs on the keeper. Mason made the tackle, but Dobbs has enough for a Naval Academy first down.
Navy's got to feel really good about what's going on here. Get a couple positive plays, get a couple penalty to help you out. On this play, you see Dobbs making the decision. He sees that guy. That block actually wasn't even there, and he still made the decision. It's 3rd and short. I'm just going to lean forward, get the first down.
It's going to be first down and goal now for the Naval Academy. Teach in the backfield, along with Green this time. Straight ahead and knife down as he gets to about the 8-yard line is Teach. Gus Mustakas made the tackle.
93, Gus Mustakas at the tackle.
And the best way for their offense to be successful as well is if they can get that fullback dive going, it really keeps that defense guessing. Because if that's working for them, they can't get as wide as quick, and they can't stop that pitch.
Panthers lead this overall series, and you can see the first 2 drives, nothing, but thanks to a penalty, they've marched it down for a 1st and goal. They've got Curry and Dole and Teach in that backfield. Down close to the 1 is Teach. Teach is going to get to about the 2 before Dom DeSico puts him to the turf here at Heinz Field, also the home of the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, just like I was talking about, those first couple drives, if you remember, they were getting a lot of width. The coaching staff makes a decision. We're going to keep them on their toes. We're going to start handling the ball. This has been Teach's drive the whole way down the field, giving them the ball in the middle, trying to keep those defenders honest, and they've got the ball at the 1-yard line. 3rd down. Let's see who wins the battle up front.
Curry infinity of the slot backs. Teach the fullback. See what the quarterback does. He's going to follow his lead blocker. He's going to follow that fullback Teach. Just stick his head down and take it into the end zone, and a chance for the Naval Academy to tie it up with 19 seconds to play in the opening period.
It's all about misdirection. You know, they've been handing the ball to Teach. They key in on Teach, and he follows his way in. That's the decision making. That's what Dobbs brings. He understands the game. He understands their system.
Buckley will kick. Zingler will be the holder. And the kick is up, and it's good. So we are tied. Each team gets a touchdown here in the opening quarter. The Navy and Pittsburgh. 7-play drive, 52 yards, aided by that 15-yard penalty. 3 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. And just following the lead man. Let's take a look at this on the replay coming right at you.
Yeah, you see center Curtis Bass get up there, get his guy to the ground, and when he doesn't hand the ball to Teach, all Ricky's got to do is stay right between the 3 and the 9 and follow his big man into the end zone. And you know what? That's the type of thing, though. When you see this happening, John, it's unbelievable, because trying to keep these defenses guessing, that's the hardest thing for these coaches on the Pitt side, the defensive side of the ball. They're guessing. They're thinking outside, they go inside. He's thinking inside, he follows his guy inside. I mean, trying to keep these guys on their toes is a real key for them.
Well, you saw head coach Niamata Lolo there for a brief moment. And in talking to Dave Wanstead, we talked to him about, well, since you played him, this will be the 3rd straight year. Does that help you? He said, they can't remember from 1 week to the next. How are you going to expect them to remember a year ago?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's funny. I mean, he says that, and, you know, thinking back when you play college ball and you're like, you know what, I want to focus on this opponent 1 week at a time. It is kind of hard to focus on those different things. But for this type of offense, there's 2 times that you'd love to face them. In a home opener, obviously like Ohio State, and they struggled, or in a bowl game when you have a ton of time to prepare. This offense is very schematic.
Sadler and Reed will be deep. John Teague will kick off for the Naval Academy. See if the Panthers do a better job with this kick than they did the first, although getting the ball at the 11-yard line turned out to be all right.
It did. It didn't hurt them at all.
It looked like it was going to be Navy football and the early turnover. Short kick.
Pooch.
Fielded at the 30-yard line. Banging his way back upfield was Hynoski, the fullback, one of the short men, and so good field position for the Panthers. They'll have it at their own 41-yard line as we get set to wind down this opening quarter. Stahl 6 or 7 has the touchdown pass. Double tight for Pittsburgh with Byam and Dickerson in there. Lewis and Hynoski will set up in the I behind Stahl. Well, the last drive they had it at the 4-yard line. This time they have it at the 41. And check it, it's Ray Graham, the other freshman, in there for the University of Pittsburgh. And they think as the tackle is made by Haybearer that he has as much ability as the guy ahead of him. He's just not as mature yet.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score.
That'll take us to the end of the first 15 minutes of play. It's a 7-7 start to this football game in Heinz Field in downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Back with more after this on ESPN360.com. We welcome you back to our coverage here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 8:31 of the first quarter. The Panthers capped a 78-yard drive with a touchdown pass. Stoll able to complete that pass. He was perfect on that opening drive, but then aided by that 15-yard penalty following a 17-yard run, right back comes the Naval Academy.
Yeah, they really do. And you can see the rushing offense. That's what they want to do. That's their MO. They come out here and try and run the ball. They give the ball to Marcus Curry and Navy when they get the ball back. They get a long run, stretch the defense on the outside. They get a penalty on top of that. Then it was Alexander Ticho for the next 5+ carries trying to give him the ball. Dobbs counters that with following his fullback into the end zone, and now we have a tie ball game.
43-yard line for the Panthers as they start this second quarter of play here at Heinz Field. Pittsburgh trying to go 3-0 to start the young season. You look ahead for Pittsburgh. They had their victories over Youngstown State, scored a lot of points, 54 they racked up against Buffalo, and next weekend they will play on the road at NC State, and then the following Saturday they will start the Big East regular season at Louisville, so it will not be an easy road for the Panthers after this game. Graham and Hynoski will be in that backfield. Hynoski getting the play here in the second quarter for the freshman Dion Lewis. McGee, a wide receiver. 3 wideouts in this formation for quarterback Stoll. Fakes a handoff, stops, looks, throws. Pass is caught at the 40-yard line. Down at the 39-yard line, and Jonathan Baldwin is off to a good start here today.
He really is, and he's showing off his athleticism there. I mean, Stoll has the ability, and he's very accurate, but at times when he's not, it's okay. When you got a receiver like Jonathan Baldwin, you can put that ball as high as you want. He'll go up, climb the ladder, and go get it. First down machine. Jonathan Baldwin has been here today.
39-yard line of the Naval Academy. Baldwin, by the way, is 6'5", 225, a sophomore, a true sophomore from Aliquippa. Still Graham and Hynoski in the backfield. Dickerson is the tight end. Boy, a lot of time. Again, the throw and a great catch. Terrific play by Byam. That's his first catch of the season. Byam just snatched that one out of the air in front of Emmett Merchant. A 25-yard pickup. And this, you talk about the Pitt running game, but the passing game looks pretty good.
The passing game, yeah, it does. You know what? They're trying to get him on their toes as well. They've been running the ball. They get the ball to Nate Byam. He's all Big East in 2008. He's on the John Mackey Award finalist list. Trying to catch the ball. You see what he can do with the ball. I mean, he may have not had the touchdown catches that Dickerson had last week, but this kid was a performer last year. Like I said, all Big East last year. Comes out this year from Franklin, PA. And wow, making that catch like that, it's a great ball by Stoll as well.
Out of the I formation, they have 2 tight ends. One of them is in the slot on the left side. That's Dickerson in motion. Stoll sets, looks, throws for the end zone, and throws it away. It was intended for Jonathan Baldwin, but even he's not quite tall enough to handle that.
Yeah, I don't think there's a ladder high enough for him to get that ball. But you know what? That was well defended. Like I said, they're trying to keep this and see what they can do with the Navy defense. Navy has to go zone. You want to say that they can man up, go man-to-man with their receivers, but now we've seen Jonathan Baldwin and the mismatches that he creates and a couple of the receivers create. They can't do that.
Double tight formation. Baldwin is out there as well. Split to the right along with McGee. McGee will be in the slot right side. It's 2nd down and 10. Good hole on the left side all the way to the end zone for Ray Graham. Malecki with the lead block that time out of his right guard spot. And boy, was there a lot of daylight for the other freshmen on this Pittsburgh team.
It really was. You know what, they do a good job here. You know, every time they try and get the ball in, you'll see them make the handoff, little counteraction, follow your big man to the outside, and nobody's home for Navy on the outside of that defense.
And that'll make offensive coordinator Frank Signetti very happy. Hutchins out of the hold of Janako. Trying to make it 14-7. He drills that one up and through, no problem. Well, the touchdown play, the excellent run by the freshman. Look at the hole and look at that lead block that time. No problem for the freshman to get in there. 13:40 to play. It's 14-7 Pittsburgh. Panthers are up by a touchdown. They marched 59 yards in 5 plays. Ray Graham taking it the final 15. The Panther fans are happy. Green and Finnerty are the deep men. Finnerty to the far side, Green to the near side. And here's that touchdown again. Boy, did he have some room, huh? He could have walked in that time, Drew.
He did, and John Malecki with a great kick-out block there. Like we said, they didn't get wide enough on the defensive end, and when you get a kick-out block, you get a hole like that. It makes it a lot easier for those guys to make decisions and run through those holes.
Briggs will kick it off for the Panthers on top 14-7 as they score early here in the second quarter. This one is kicked deep, very deep, back into the end zone, but not coming out is G.G. Green. He boomed that one. So Navy will have it at their own 20-yard line, first down 10, and let's see if the Midshipmen now can answer that excellent drive by Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this will be a good test for them, just like they did the last drive. Be consistent, keep everybody guessing, do what you do well. That's what the coaches talk about. Let's just execute, keep it simple, and let's see what we can do on offense.
It's Dobbs under center. He's got Curry and Teach as the slot backs. Jones and Washington, the wide receivers. Here's Dobbs. A late pitch, but a good one. A lot of room down that right side. And not afraid of the defender that time, picking up good yardage. DeSico is there, but an excellent run by Alexander Teach, number 39, a 43-yard pickup, and there was nobody outside.
Well, you know what they do? They do this counter option, and basically by going overloading to the strong side, they go back weak, run the counter, they pull a guard, and I love it at the end of the play. Teach isn't going out of bounds.
No.
These guys are not doing that. He's looking to hit somebody, finish his run. Very impressive run.
Teach, the fullback, Curry, Infinity are the slot backs. 40 total plays yardage-wise before that one of 43, and there's the pitch, and this one is upended right at the 35-yard line. Coming down defensively for the Panthers was Elijah Fields, getting the start in the free safety spot formerly occupied by Andrew Taglianetti. Taglianetti is done for the year with knee problem. The pickup close to 3. Let's call it second down and 7 for the Midshipmen. Myers and Shoup are the wideout split to the right. Curry and Doyle are the slot backs. We've not seen so much of Curry so far. Sets a block there. Throw down the middle is going to be too far. Incomplete. It was intended for Myers, the wide receiver, but Dobbs led him just a little too far.
It's a great thought. Where they are in the field right now, take a chance. You can get another play, you have a couple more options, but to try and get that throw right there, get the defense up. They've had a couple big plays on the ground. Try and keep them guessing.
Washington knocking off Southern Cal 16-13. That is a final.
Wow.
So Southern Cal had a week to enjoy the win over Ohio State, and that was it, huh?
Exactly. It's a tough place to go and win, and you know, good for them. My hat's off to them.
Murray is now the fullback in this formation. Straight ahead play down to the 30. It'll be short of a first down. Mustakas there to lead the defense for the Panthers, and let's see where they spot the football. He did not get to the 30. Ball is at the 33-yard line, so fourth down.
Yeah, the defense did a good job of stunning into the A gap there and stopping that play before it got going. I think if Dobbs had the ball back at his hand one more time, I think he would have seen that a little bit pre-snap, kind of understanding what they were doing defensively and going a different route.
It's Curry and Doyle as the slot backs. Alexander Teach, who had that 43-yard romp, is the fullback. Passing formation here for the Midshipmen on fourth down. And a little bit of a delayed handoff, and that's going to result in a Navy first down. That's Curry on the carry. Mustakas made the tackle, but he's got enough for the first down. That was a good-looking play.
It really was. The misdirection, putting Curry in motion, getting him to stop back, it almost turns into a delayed handoff. Get those offensive linemen up the field. And one of the keys for them is to get their center, number 66, Curtis Bass, into the second level. Get on those linebackers, and before you know it, Marcus was right behind him, falling away for a first down. Big fourth down conversion. It's
Finnerty, Green, and Teach. Still with it is Curry, puts his head down. He's tripped up as he crosses the 25 by Chappelle. Giovanni Chappelle made the tackle. This will be the 7th play of this drive coming up for the Naval Academy. There's Chappelle from Dayton, Ohio, 5'9" senior. Is it my imagination or college running backs getting shorter?
I think they are, but you know what? They're getting quicker, and you know what? It's amazing to see what they're doing, especially at Navy. You know, for the quickness, the speed, they're trying to catch up with everybody else.
Second down play coming for the Midshipmen. Quarterback will keep it, put his head down, and fight his way close to a first down at the 15-yard line. Dan Mason made the tackle.
That's what I love about Dobbs. You know what? He finishes runs as well. We saw Teach before finishing a run, looking to hit somebody, and you watch Dobbs here, point of contact, he gets 3, 4 more yards, gets another first down, puts them at the 15-yard line. All effort by these Navy kids.
And I tell you what, that means that work in the weight room is paying off. He's got the leg strength to get those extra yards.
It really does. And for such a small guy, you know, I mean, he's not that big, he's not that powerful, doesn't look that great on film as far as size-wise, but he's really strong.
Dobbs has carried 8 times for 19 yards so far. He's got a first down for his team at the 15-yard line. Dobbs turns it back upfield. He'll get about 3. Carrageen is there to make the tackle. Miles Carrageen, a redshirt sophomore from here in Pittsburgh, went to Keystone Oaks.
The play here to key, when you see the guard pulling, if you're a Pitt defender, wherever that guard is going, that's where the ball is going. And those linebackers, when they're guessing and they kind of take that little sidestep, kind of doing the counteraction with the running back, that means they're a step too late. Those linemen can get to the second level. Follow that guard. The guard will take you to the ball.
Second down coming up for Navy. About 8 to go. Curry, Doyle, Teach in the backfield. And that's going to get down to about the 10-yard line. Carrageen is there defensively for the University of Pittsburgh to make the tackle. Carrageen has a sack this year. He's another Pittsburgh native. 2 of 5 for the Midshipmen on third down. Big play coming up here. 9:05 to play in the first half. Finnerty replaces Doyle. He's with Curry. Teach the fullback. Dobbs rolls, sets, and he's in trouble. Back at the 15-yard line. Sheard and Mason, number 40 and number 97, were there for Pitt.
Yeah, they're trying to get Ricky Dobbs on a little sprint out, have a guy in the flat, a guy to the back corner. You see Marcus Curry settling up in the zone. It was the right call if it had been blocked up front properly. If Dobbs had 1 more minute, Curry's hooking up right there in the corner of your screen. It would have been a perfect play call. I give them credit for trying to get it off, but as far as executing up front, Sheard broke through there and made a great play.
Well, they will go for it again. Each team has been able to convert on fourth down so far here in this opening half. It'll be Curry, Doyle, and Teach as the running backs. The ball at the 15, fourth down and 10. And now Navy's going to take a timeout and talk it over.
Timeout.
We'll see if the Midshipmen decide, Drew, to kick the ball instead of go for it at fourth and 10. We've got a timeout down on the field here at Heinz Field. You're watching football with us on the third week of the season on ESPN360.com. Well, the decision has been made by head coach Niamata Lolo, and it's going to be a 3-point try coming up. This will be at the 22-yard line. It'll be a 32-yard field goal attempt from Buckley, who was 1 of 2. He had a 43-yarder for the Midshipmen.
I like this decision. I mean, this is the decision you have to make in games like this. You're going back and forth with Pitt. You're hanging in the game. The last thing you want to do is give them a little bit of momentum by making a fourth down stop, giving them the ball back, and sacrificing putting points on the board.
Panthers have dominated in total yardage so far. They lead on the scoreboard 14-7. So Buckley, a junior from Downingtown, Pennsylvania, trying to move the Midshipmen a little bit closer, and he misses wide to the right. So let's see if that does give the Panthers a little bit of momentum here.
No, definitely. After an 11-play drive, Navy sustains. They get a fourth down. They're marching down the field. They make the decision to kick it, like I was talking about before, to try and get a little bit of that non-momentum swing for Pitt. Put some points on the board. Get something out of that drive. Unfortunately for Navy, he misses the field goal, and they get the ball back at the 20-yard line.
I'm John Sanders along with Drew Haddad, and we are in Heinz Field in downtown Pittsburgh. Double tight end formation for the Panthers. Baldwin and Turner are the wide receivers. Lewis is back in there as the lone running back, and a fake to Lewis. Deep throw down that right side. And the catch is made down at the 32-yard line by Baldwin. Jonathan Baldwin beating Middleton for a huge gain for the Panthers. 49 yards on that effort.
And you can see why they are so high on this kid. You know what? He gets behind the defense, making plays. He's got about a foot advantage, it looks like, over him, and he goes up there and makes a play. When you have athletes like this on the outside, if these Navy corners are manned up, it is an extreme disadvantage for them. These kids have better ball skills. They know where the ball is. They go up and make a play. First down for Pitt.
Both wide receivers, Baldwin and Turner, to the right side. Panthers go with a double tight end. The quick pass is outside and only going to be a couple of yards there as Carter was quickly up on Baldwin. You said it looked like about a foot difference. Actually, it's only 3 inches difference between the defender and Baldwin, who made that catch. It's right there with him. He's 6'2", and number 82 is 6'5".
It's amazing. You know what? When you see these guys, just like that last play, this basically turns into a wide run. When they show zone on the outside and Baldwin has a 10-yard cushion, Stoll can kind of look at him and just give him a little nod and throw him the ball out there and see if he can make a play.
The two wideouts this time go to the left side. Little motion from Dickerson, the tight end. Lewis puts his head down. Well, a good start to this game for Stoll. He's 10 of 12 rather for 160 yards. Burge is there defensively. Baldwin has already caught 5 passes for 100 yards.
Yeah, he's been impressive. And what they tried to do initially was try to get that running game going. And they're going back to the run right now after that long pass. This is a huge third down here for Navy's defense. If they can get a stop and force them to try and kick a field goal, and it only gets up to a 10-point game, this will be big for the Navy defense for this play.
And of course, Pittsburgh using that big pass play to Baldwin to get deep into midshipman territory. They'll go from the 25-yard line. You see the numbers there. Stoll's pass is knocked down. No, it is caught. Coming back the other way down inside the 5-yard line. Middleton and Merchant were there, but somehow Stoll got the football and took it down for a 1st and goal.
Well, what turned out to be, thinking a great play by Stoll catching his own pass and almost running in for a touchdown. Looks like he lost possession of the ball at the end. We're going to see it here on a replay. Initially, the ball is tipped. It's a completion to himself, which every quarterback loves. He turns into the running back, the receiver, and gets down there. And we'll see if this ball does come out before he's down. Can't really see it there.
They're going to review the play. Look at it come right back in his hands.
Amazing, amazing. I would love to see that stat line. You know, Stoll to Stoll for a 20-yard touchdown pass. That's something you don't see every day.
Well, it's 23 yards if it stands.
If it stands.
Carter was the one who deflected the ball and then coming back defensively to make the tackle. The Panthers will have it 1st and goal if the play stands. And remember, they are going to review it.
And to me, up here right now, it seems that that ball came out before his knee hit the ground. And if the call on the field was a fumble, so they're going to have some pretty conclusive evidence up there to be able to see who recovered that. I think it was Middleton down there.
Middleton did recover it.
You're going to see here, he gets his right arm in there on the ball, and watch that left knee. Ball's out.
After further review,
No, that is a fumble.
That is a fumble.
confirmed. We have a fumble. 1st down, Navy.
It is Navy football.
Huge play for Navy.
Well, our replay official is Wesley Ward, and Wesley saw it the way you did, Drew, as a turnover right near the goal line.
Yeah, not only is that their first red zone turnover this season, that's the first time Pitt's been in the red zone and not come out with points.
Well, they had been 12 of 12, right?
Yeah, 12 of 12, 11 out of 12 on touchdowns. I mean, they only settled for 1 field goal.
Well, let's see if the Panthers defensively can dig in. Curry, Doyle, Teach the running back. Straight ahead running that time. Mason is there. Dobbs on the keeper. And his yardage so far really has kind of been limited.
It really has, but you know what? They've been in this position before. In the 4th quarter against Ohio State, if you remember, they had the ball on the 1-yard line in the 4th quarter, went 15 plays for 99 yards to set up that 2-point try to try and win the game. These kids, whether they're backed up, they're at midfield, their offense stays the same. Just be good in what you do.
The Navy has defeated 13 BCS teams. The Panthers are playing 9 teams that were in bowl games last year. The Naval Academy playing 8 teams that were in bowl games. And there's Dobbs, and he is ripped down. That's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, that's 15 yards right there.
Moustakis reached up and grabbed him. and helps him up because it's not intentional, but
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 93 defense. 15 yards. From
15 yards. That's the big one.
Those are the ones that help. These are the things that obviously Navy. Ricky Dobbs makes the decision. This was just like the touchdown run. He fakes the handoff to Teach. He sees the end getting wide and getting some penetration, and he follows his fullback up. And this is the play where, you know what, that's very dangerous. You don't like to see that happen to anybody. And I know it wasn't intentional, but they're going to get 15 yards out of it. And Dobbs will probably be a little bit sore tomorrow in the neck area.
Second huge penalty against the Panthers, who've been penalized 3 times already for 46 yards. Curry, Doyle, and Teach are the running backs. 2 slot backs and the fullback behind the quarterback, Ricky Dobbs. Dobbs still has it. And he'll move ahead. Mustakis and Gruder make the tackle. He's going to get about 3 or 4 yards on the play.
Look, and you see what's happening here too. You see the resilience of these Navy kids. They go down the field. They have an 11-play drive. They come in. Ricky Dobbs is getting the momentum for them. They miss a field goal. Pitt comes right back, big plays, gets all the way down to the 1-yard line. They force a turnover, and here they are. They're out of their own, almost out of their own red zone, making positive plays and have a 2nd and short.
Murray is now the fullback with Curry and Finnerty the slot backs for the Naval Academy. Dobbs still has it. The pitch, good defense by Pittsburgh, but somehow Curry stayed on his feet. He got very close to the first down. Mustakis again along with DeSico. Defensively for Pittsburgh, the Panthers have the lead. 4:05 to play in the opening half.
And Navy went back to that counter that they had run successfully the last drive. They pull their guard. You know, Dobbs makes the decision, pays the price for it, gets the ball to Curry, and they ask Curry to do the rest. Gets you real close to a first down here, waiting for a measurement.
And a good job by Aaron Berry that time. He actually knocked the offensive player trying to block him back into the running back.
He did. That was one of the keys. When you see that guard going, you obviously know that's where the ball's going. So they try and key that guy and make a good play.
Is it enough for a Naval Academy first down? It would appear that it is. Well, Navy has it down at their own 33-yard line. First down 10. Dave Wanstadt's team on top, 14-7. Coming back on the field is Bobby Doyle. Teach will be the fullback now.
First and 10, Navy.
They wind the clock. We're inside 4 minutes left in the opening half here on ESPN360.com. Dobbs reverses and cuts it back, and he'll get a couple out to about the 35. Mick Williams made the tackle, the defensive tackle for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen them try and run that counter to the wide side of the field. It doesn't really work as well. The speed of that defensive line, they obviously got a little bit of penetration up front, and they extended the play. You're going to look to see them do that a little bit more. They've had some success. They're going to keep going back to it. Keep them guessing. Keep going inside. Keep giving the ball to Teach. Try and keep them on their toes.
It'll be second down coming up. Maybe with two tight ends. Now it's Green and Finnerty along with Teach in that backfield. It's Teach on the carry. Sheard and Williams there defensively for Pittsburgh, number 95 and 97. You talked about the size advantage that the Panthers basically have when it's offensive line against defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, going across the board on the offensive line, that's why for them to be 6'3", 260 on average up front for Navy, that's why those splits are so wide. They have to utilize their quickness and their speed up front to counterbalance the size for Pitt.
Third down and 5. Green, Doyle, Teach the running backs. Dobbs sets, throws a flag down. The catch is made out at the 39-yard line. No, they say incomplete pass, so we do have a flag down, which would indicate probably a hold coming up against the Naval Academy.
Holding. 66 on the offense. That
So it's
penalty
against the center, Curtis Bass. And he's only made 3 starts at center. Bass was a guard before. That's a takedown right there.
Yeah, it is. That would be 2 points in wrestling, I think.
So it'll be fourth down coming up. And the Naval Academy will bring out their kick team. The last punt was 50 yards. This is the second punt for Navy.
On the punt 35.
Delahook will kick. Aaron Smith has been handling the punt return so far this afternoon. Remember, they had a running into the kicker call earlier, and he drops the ball and then kicks it on the ground. And it's still rolling all the way inside the 40 to the 37-yard line, and a flag goes down. Wound up being a 25-yard punt off the ground, but I don't think it's going to stand.
Illegal kicking against the offense.
That wasn't a drop kick, was it?
No, I don't think it was. They called the illegal kicking, which obviously is a loss of down for them. And Pitt will get the ball in the red zone to start with this. Talk about a huge play. We talked about it before. You know what happens when he's going to transition the foot out? He just dropped the ball.
Well, it was a good snap.
It was a good snap. You know, when he's going to position the ball to make the punt.
We have immediate timeout.
So we've got a timeout with 2:17 to play here in the opening half on ESPN 360. Panthers good field position, leading by a touchdown. Disappointing turn of events for Coach Niamata Lolo, because it should have been a good punt. It was a good snap. He didn't actually bobble handling the reception. He just dropped it when he was trying to kick it.
Yeah, it almost looks like his leg forgot to come up. I mean, he catches the ball, he's positioning it to kick it, and when he dropped it, maybe the drop point was too low, and he just didn't feel comfortable kicking it. I don't know, but that's one bizarre play, and natural instinct just to kick it out of there gives them, look at the field position they have right now. I mean, they're down there at the 15-yard line going in to score.
Baldwin, Turner, the wide receivers, double tied with Byam and Dickerson. Lewis is the lone setback. 2:17 to play in the half. Panthers have all three of their timeouts available. Dickerson in motion. Stull looks, throws, catch is made. A stop and go move by Dickerson. He's going to get inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line, leading the defense, Pospisil and Sovi.
Stop by 44.
If you look at Dickerson at 6'2", 230, he almost is the size of a wide receiver.
He really is, and he used to be. He went from linebacker, they moved him to wide receiver. This is his second full season playing tight end. He had 3 touchdowns in the first half last week against Buffalo. He's a really productive guy, really athletic.
Baldwin and Sadler both split to the left side. You've got Byam and Dickerson, the double tight end formation. This is Dickerson in motion. And down inside the 5-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. Haberer is there, but Lewis able to pick up the. Did he get the first down? He's very close. See where they spot it.
He gets a great block there. It's going to be close.
No, they're going to say it's 3rd and short. We got 4 on the play.
Down and it is.
Pitt is 1 of 4 so far on 3rd down. Still the double tight. Lewis the lone setback, and Lewis will get the carry, gets the first down, and almost got the touchdown. He did get the touchdown. And I had to wait and see what the officials were going to call, but Lewis gets in there. Dion Lewis, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. He has 1 through the air, just weaving his way and then leaning in, get that ball to break the plane. He knew it. So the huge break on the missed kick, is what do you want to call it, is costly.
Yeah, points off of turnovers. They wanted to try, and Navy's keys were trying to limit those turnovers, limit their negative plays. They might take another look at this, but to get in there and have the true freshman, Dion Lewis comes in there, giant hole, point of contact at the 2-yard line, drives and is determined to get down there. I think this play will stand, but you know what? Just to have them out there at the 15-yard line going in, any offense would like to be in that position.
Well, Hauser, the center, leading the blocking, but a pretty good tackle by Wyatt Middleton almost keeps him out of the end zone. And of course, if you're the Naval Academy, you think that he didn't score. So we'll await the review of the play.
Yeah, and based on that look, it's probably going to be, because his knees were off the ground, where the ball was when his hand hit the ground and how far he extended. I don't know if we'll be able to see it here.
You see the blocking by Hauser, number 64, the center, and the good hard tackle by Middleton. So we'll review whether it's enough to keep him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're in a pretty tough position when it's 3rd and inches and your safety's making the tackle on the 1-yard line.
That means there was a little bit of room for him to get to that
Yeah,
safety.
there may have been some good work being done by the offensive line up front. And you know what, that's one of those things where if you can stop the run, and Navy was doing that initially, but if they can stop the run, if they can be consistent with that, they've been trying to force them to pass. But as you see with Baldwin's numbers, I mean, he's over 100 yards already. They can kind of do both on Navy's defense right now. So Navy's kind of back on their heels a little bit.
Referee Gary Patterson is still awaiting the word from upstairs as they review that play. 1:10 remaining here in the opening half in downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Third consecutive year these two teams have played. Part of a 4-year commitment to play each other, but they will not be in action against each other for a couple more years.
Yeah, this is a great, it's a great rivalry. That you create these things, just like we talked about before with the academies. Having Navy come in here, the pride, the respect, everybody has a little different feeling about that. You see the cadet, you see everyone in the stands. It's a different feeling, and I guess we're gonna take a look here one more time at this touchdown run, or near touchdown run, and we're gonna see the good blocking. He makes the tackle there at the 1-yard line. His hand is down there. You know what? They might review that. They might bring it back. I don't know. It was real close to that 1-yard line to see where that ball was when his hand hit the ground.
Going back, of course, in time, both these teams were Eastern Independents, and they played each other a lot.
After further review, the call on the field stands. Touchdown.
It is a touchdown. So they reviewed it, and maybe after a little hesitation like we had from Drew, they made the call.
Well, it's tough, too, because, I mean, with the angles which we saw that at, you can kind of get an idea of where that ball was, but was it conclusive enough to overturn it? No, the play on the field, the call on the field was a touchdown. They stuck with it.
Let's see what Hutchins can do here with his extra point attempt. He's missed a couple this year. Not that time. He drills it through. So the Panthers add to their lead. 21-7. Pittsburgh leads the Naval Academy. And a break for Pittsburgh because they got that ball at the Navy 15-yard line following the muffed kick.
Yeah, that was a huge break. I mean, you talk about the difference in the possession and everything happening with the turnovers. Navy gets a turnover. They get moving, getting out of their own red zone. They force a fourth down by Pitt's defense. They're going to punt the ball back to Pitt with, a minute and a half, 2 minutes remaining in the half. Maybe get a stop and go in only down 7. Now, conversely, you see them come out, and now they're in a 14-point hole, and they give them the ball back. These are tough holes for Navy to crawl out of. They find themselves in these often, like the past couple weeks. They were, like I said, they were down 14-0 in the first quarter against Louisiana Tech. These kids will be resilient.
Now, Finnerty and Green are deep to receive the kick from Luke Briggs. Panthers trying to crack that top 25. They were ranked 27th and 29th coming into today. And of course, a lot of congratulations for the Naval Academy for the way they played against Ohio State. But their head coach, Niamata Lolo, said, hey, forget that. We lost that game.
Yeah. It's a tough thing. You got to take positives out of a loss sometimes, but everybody wants to win.
Another good deep kick that time by Hutchins. Green drops it at the goal line, picks it up, and he'll get back to just beyond the 20-yard line. Out to the 20. Green is there defensively for the University of Pittsburgh. Antoine Reed made the tackle. Here are the numbers for the Naval Academy passing so far tonight. They have nothing. And Irvin Jasper, the offensive coordinator for Navy, architect of the triple option, which has been their staple. Curry and Teach are the running backs. Dobbs rolls right, throws, and the catch is made on the far side of the field. Getting out of bounds is Jones to stop the clock. Elijah Fields coming up defensively. A decent yardage for the Naval Academy.
It is. It's good to see Ricky Dobbs complete his first pass and, get them out of bounds. Most offenses, when you see this, they have a minute left, they're down by 14. You see them conducting their 2-minute offense, going no huddle, spreading people out. That's not what Navy does. They're going to try and still do what they do best, but at the same time, try and keep them on the run, throwing, rolling out, and getting the ball in the air. 3
wide receivers in this formation for the Midshipmen. Dobbs looks, throws deep. And that's incomplete and out of bounds. Fields was running right with the intended receiver. That was Greg Jones, the intended receiver, but there was no space between him and the defender.
No, we talked about it before, too, about the separation. Pittsburgh feels comfortable enough to be able to put 9 guys in the box, and if they throw 2 guys out into a route, they're saying that our 2 defensive backs are better than your 2 wide receivers. And on that play, it almost looked like the Pitt defender was actually running the route for the Navy wide receiver.
It is Washington and Myers now as the wide receivers, still going with Curry and Teach in the backfield, and that's going to be close to a Navy first down. A quick hitter up the middle by Teach. Mason and Gruder defensively for Pittsburgh, but it is a Naval Academy first down in the final 48 seconds of the opening half. Still with Teach and Curry in the backfield. And it's Teach again. He'll get across the 35 out to about the 36. Mustakas made the tackle after a gain of about 5 for Navy.
They're going up to a little hurry-up offense here, trying to get the ball and trying to get as many possessions as they can, many plays as they can before this half is over.
3 wide receiver formation. Dobbs sets, looks, throws right, catch is made, and the hit is made on the far side of the field. Myers made the catch. Ricky Gary there defensively. You see him, number 26 for Pittsburgh. It'll be a first down, a 13-yard gain, but only 11 seconds left in the opening half. Ball all the way out to the 48.
Yeah, and this is the dimension Ricky Dobbs brings. To be able to throw that comeback, not all the time do you see a Navy quarterback able to throw that 15-yard out route. So for them to have this option and this ability to get the ball near half field or midfield with a chance to score.
Again, 3 wide receivers in a passing formation. Dobbs throws short. Williams putting a little pressure on him up the middle, and the pass was incomplete.
Yeah, and that definitely affected his throwing motion there. He kind of had to sidestep a little bit based on that pressure and didn't get the ball out as fast as he wanted to and in the position that he wanted to.
It was intended for Shoup. It'll be second down and 10 from the 48 of the Naval Academy. And Shoup, Jones, Washington, 3 wideouts in this formation. Curry, Teach. There's movement. That's going to be a penalty against Navy. We'll see if the Panthers take the loss, though, and the down. Mick Williams in there for Pittsburgh. Had 1 sack coming in. We'll check out the penalty, but I have to think the Panthers will probably decline this, don't you?
Yeah, I think they would. They had a little problem, Navy did, getting set up in their formation to the wide side of the field. Some receivers were still in motion, and they weren't set when the play was snapped. He actually was on the other side of the ball trying to get back on their side. So,
well, maybe because they're not used to having 4 wide receivers on the field at the same time.
Probably, but yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, I'm sure that Pitt's going to decline this penalty.
They'll take the loss and they'll take the down.
Motion against Navy.
They're going to decline it. At least
Motion,
that's what Dave Wanstead wants to do.
Decline. Half over.
And it winds up the half. So it ends with a little bit of confusion near midfield, but a big lead for the Panthers at halftime. It has been very effective offensively. They lead at 21-7 here at Heinz Field. Our halftime activities coming up on ESPN360.com. There is downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Panthers' hometown, and they lead at 21-7. We are at halftime. Let's go to heating it up with DiGiorno and show you how Bill Stahl was heating it up. He completed 12 passes in 14 attempts, and he used 8 different receivers. That was Byam there making the catch. Good play fake, and as he rolls and sets up the touchdown, the first to Baldwin of the evening, and he airs it out down the left side. He was heating it up, and Baldwin was at the receiving end. Now Dobbs, on the other hand, trying to make the midshipmen go. And he finally fights his way into the end zone for the lone Navy touchdown. He did everything that he could in that opening half. The Panthers come away with a comfortable halftime lead of 21-7. They did not do very well, actually, in their passing attack. Heating it up with DiGiorno, and the Panther band is going to heat up the field here in downtown Pittsburgh. We'll have a break. We'll be visiting with the athletics director at the University of Pittsburgh. Steve Peterson will join us when we continue on ESPN360.com. It is 21-7. The Panthers of Pittsburgh leading the Midshipmen from the Naval Academy as the Panther Band is on the field performing at halftime. We welcome you back along with Drew Haddad. I'm John Sanders. Pretty strong first half performance by Pittsburgh when they got the ball on the move.
They really did. They had a great first half. They capitalized on a lot of negative plays by Navy, and that's something that they wanted to keep them out of. But Pittsburgh capitalized. They did a great job, and you know what? They're up on top 21-7.
And we're going to take a look at some of those highlights from the opening half of play. And it was a good half, as we mentioned, for quarterback Stull, and also a very good half for Baldwin, who caught 5 passes for 100 yards in that first half. He was a busy young man.
Yeah, he was. Stull here on the play fake finds Derek Turner in the corner of the end zone for their first touchdown, making plays all over the field and very, very accurate.
And now for the Naval Academy. And Pittsburgh did a pretty good job. They broke one big run against the Panther defense, but for the most part, they handled the triple option like that.
They did. You know what? They really were stout up front. They were stretching the defense, trying to get as many plays as they could. And once they stopped it in the middle, they got one big play here from Curry, which was tacked on with a little 15-yard personal foul, putting them in position to score.
Set up the touchdown, and it was the quarterback Dobbs following his fullback into the end zone. Made it look easy, and that tied the game. But since that point, it has been Stull and the Panthers on the move.
Yeah, he's really been accurate. Like you said, he found 8 different receivers in the first half, getting the ball, distributing it well, and extremely accurate in the passing game.
And the running of the outstanding freshman Lewis takes it in for a score for Pittsburgh. A little reverse action there and a nice pitch. This was probably their best offensive play right
It really was. And with Teach finishing the run, trying not to go out of bounds, he's going to finish it for you right there.
An inside handoff this time. The Panthers handle that. Here's the field goal attempt as they try to climb back to within 4 to the right. And Stull again airs it out. Who's at the other end? Yeah. Number 82, Baldwin.
And Jonathan Baldwin capitalizing, momentum swing. They get the ball back. Pitt gets the ball down to the nose of the goal line, and Navy forces a turnover, hopefully trying to carry some momentum.
But that was followed up by this drop of the football as he was attempting to kick. He kicked it on the ground, and that set up the final touchdown of the opening half. And just stretching out to get into the end zone. So Lewis gets the touchdown. Let's take a look at the first half stats from here at Heinz Field. Panthers with 125 yards rushing. Navy with 125 yards rushing. But look at the difference in the passing. That was huge in the first half.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And right now for 248 total yards. Last year against Navy, Pitt put up 500 yards of total offense. Right on pace again. But really, they've stopped the run. But the passing game is really what's hurt Navy defensively.
And that one turnover was costly for the Midshipmen. We have more to come. We're going to visit with the Director of Athletics at the University of Pittsburgh. Steve Peterson will join us. And the fans here for the Panthers are enjoying things. It is a beautiful evening in downtown Pittsburgh. Back with more after this. From the point in downtown Pittsburgh, the celebration right now for the Panthers, who lead it at halftime 21-7. Happy to have you with us tonight on ESPN360.com, and I'm very happy to be joined by the Director of Athletics here at the University of Pittsburgh, Steve Peterson. Pretty good first half for your team, huh?
Well, John, it's been a great first half. I thought we got off to a good start, and then certainly this is a good football team we're playing, and so they keep testing you, but I thought our players responded well, and particularly we've played particularly well on offense, I think, and we've done the things we needed to on defense.
You know, Drew and I talked a little bit about it is kind of a special moment when you play a Service Academy team, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, we love this series. And Chet Gladchuck, the athletic director at Navy, is one of my good friends. And we were talking about it before, that there's such mutual respect. Our fans and our team and our coaches had such a wonderful experience last year in Annapolis. And then for them to come here, and I saw the commandant before the game, and he talked about how great our fans have been to them, which made me feel really good because we hope we can reciprocate. It's just it's such a special moment. I know our players really value this, and our players have such deep respect for the young men that they're playing across from. because they know what sacrifices they're making.
That's exactly right. That's a good point. We talked about that a little bit, academically and physically, for these young men to stay with a football program when they're really taxed in class as well.
Well, you know, in fact, I told the commandant, I said I'm so amazed and really proud of the fact that they're able to play college football. You know, I think about the hours and commitment that our players make, but these are guys that their whole day is programmed for them. And as I said, I bet they don't watch a lot of TV. They might not have a TV.
I was going to say, when do they have time to do that? But congratulations on the whole Heinz Field situation for the football team. You've got a good crowd here tonight. That's turned out very well, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, we're very appreciative. This has been great for our program. You know, to be playing in one of the great stadiums in the country and great tradition of greatness in football in this area. You know, it seems appropriate for us to be in this stadium. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the Rooney family, have been so wonderful as partners in this, and you know, we've got over 55,000 people here tonight. It's exciting, and we're on our way to what we believe will be continuous sellouts in this stadium, and if we keep playing like this, that's going to help.
Absolutely. I don't think everybody knows that you do share a practice facility as well with the Pittsburgh Steelers down on the south side. I noticed the Steelers are pretty much there until about 3 o'clock or so, and then you guys kind of take over.
Well, you know, fortunately, we have this fabulous University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, and their sports medicine clinic is world renowned. And so they built the sports medicine clinic, and then both of us are in the complex, an indoor practice facility, and the Steelers have 2 outdoor practice fields. We have 2 outdoor practice fields. We have our own facilities. They have their own. But it's been tremendous. It's been tremendous for the south side of Pittsburgh, because that was the impetus for a lot of the growth over there. And as we tell our student athletes, here you are at world-class facilities. You got absolutely the finest medical care about 15 feet away. And it's been just fabulous. It's been fabulous for us and for the Steelers.
Not to mention the fact that occasionally some pro coaches do get to watch the players in practice. So congratulations to you and to the university for the great job that you're doing with your football and all of your sports programs, for that matter.
Well, John, I appreciate that. We feel very fortunate. We're at a great university with a lot of great people, and everybody is working hard. I think we have a lot of fun together. I think it's an energetic, exciting group, and we're very proud of what's going on here.
Steve Peterson is the Director of Athletics here at the University of Pittsburgh, joining us at halftime. Thanks very much, Steve. We'll await the second half here in Heinz Field in downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on a beautiful Saturday night. You couldn't ask for anything better, especially if you're a Panther fan, because you're up by 2 touchdowns. It's 21-7 at halftime here on ESPN 360. We've got another break coming before we get back and get started with the second half. Stay with us. 21-7 is our score at halftime. The Panthers wrapping up a first half in a big way. Lewis carried for 42 yards. Baldwin caught 5 passes for 100 yards. Stull was terrific. 1 touchdown, 189 yards passing for him. He was 12 of 14. Let's check out some other scores on this third full Saturday of college football. Tebow. And it's Florida, Downing, Tennessee. No love lost between those 2 teams, huh?
No, that was built up pretty big for Florida and Tennessee with the Lane Kiffin situation, and you know, it's good to see that Tim Tebow went out and played a really good game.
23-13 was the final in that game. The upsets, well, there's going to be some every Saturday. Washington knocks off Southern Cal. Oregon defeats number 18 Utah. Middle Tennessee 32, Maryland 31. They got a field goal with no time left in that game to win it. And Northern Illinois getting its second ever win against a Big Ten school. I kind of like the upsets. I think that's fun.
It is, and that's what makes college football great. You know, you look forward to Saturday. You want to see who's playing, what's happening. To see Washington down USC after the performance that USC got last weekend against Ohio State on a primetime stage in Columbus, and they come out the following week and don't really produce. And then you see the Northern Illinois of the world. You know, when a MAC team goes and plays a Big Ten team, No one's expecting that to happen, but it's happened over the past few years, and people should start expecting these teams to come in and actually perform.
You know, I think top to bottom, the MAC is better this year than it has been in quite a while.
It really is. I mean, when you watch Colorado game last week, you see Toledo, hosting Colorado, and they put up 54 points on them. You see these teams that are actually competing, and they're getting guys in there that actually are buying into their system and competing and going and playing these big-time teams with the expectations of winning.
Of course, the thing that happens then is when you get into conference play in the MAC, you start beating each other up.
You do. That's why you get these Big Ten games out of the way early. So hopefully you can come out of those first 2 or 3 weeks healthy. You get into MAC regular season play, and you scratch and claw your way all the way to the end of the regular season.
And it'll be that way for the Panthers of Pitt when they get into regular Big East play. And for a long time, everybody joked about the MAC and the fact that all they got for those games was a big check. Now they're getting some respect, I think.
They really are. You know, and I give a lot of credit to those teams and to those kids especially. You know, you look at, different schools, everywhere from Toledo to Central Michigan. You look at a Ball State last year, running the table undefeated. They lose in the championship game to Buffalo, but having good teams, good players. And then you come out last week and you see Central Michigan, with their great quarterback Lefevre, come out and they beat Michigan State at Michigan State.
Wow, that is impressive. Both of these teams went to bowl games last year. Pittsburgh losing to Oregon State 3-0 in the Sun Bowl, and for the Midshipmen of Navy, they were in the Eagle Bank Bowl and they got beat by Wake Forest 29-19.
Yeah, in this second half, starting off, Navy's going to get the football. This first drive of the second half for Navy, they probably haven't had a bigger drive the whole year. You can take Ohio State out of it. You can take the Louisiana Tech game out of it. If they can capitalize and get it to a one-score game again, right now, trying to get it back, that would be a different ballgame. If they can't, they give the ball back to Pittsburgh, and it's a 7 or 14-point swing. That might be a hole that offense is not built for.
How often have you said the first drive in the second half of almost any game is critical?
It really is. And I mean, it's and you know what? The vital part of this and the aspect for their offensive scheme to be in a 21-point hole, it's a little bit different than other teams. Now, not saying that they couldn't come back from it, but they're really not built that way.
And there are some Navy faithful here. Fear the GOAT. Certainly teams that have played the Naval Academy in recent years have feared the GOAT because they have led the rushing in the country for 4 years in a row.
Yeah, it's something that hasn't been done before. They're looking for their 5th consecutive year of that. And you know what? They come out, like we said, averaging 292 yards a game on the ground last year. They're down to 238 yards a game this year, but like we said, it has to do with the passing ability of Ricky Dobbs, which to this point, Pitt has done a great job corralling him and not allowing him to kind of get on the outside and throw the ball and be comfortable.
Well, in that last drive, right before the mishandled kick, they were basically in a passing offense using 3 wide receivers and even 4 wide receivers trying to make something happen through the air, and unfortunately it wound up costing them a touchdown because the punter dropped the football and Delahook just simply dropped it when he was trying to kick it. Let's take a look again at our keys to tonight, see what Drew came up with and see how that is held so far.
Well, yeah, for Navy, obviously trying to control the ball, and they wanted to get out there and establish their running game, and they have done that to a certain extent. But as far as stopping the run, it was the key to the game for the coaching staff coming in. They are doing that, but they haven't been able to stop the pass. It's a complete game. Once they're doing one thing well, they can't forget about the other.
118 rushing yards for the Naval Academy, 59 yards rushing allowed. Green and Finity are deep to receive the second half kickoff from Luke Briggs. Briggs' leg was very strong in the first half. Had a couple of them deep in the end zone, and this one will also back Green into the end zone. He'll take a knee, and it'll be at the 20. So the second touchback on the kickoffs by the Panthers. Let's see what the Naval Academy can do. Of course, they'd like to have a nice sustained drive, move it down the field, move the chains, and get back in this football game. Right now down by 14.
Yeah, keep it simple and execute. That's what they're going to try and do on this drive.
Curry, Finity, the running backs, the slot backs. Teach, who had a good first half, and it'll be a straight ahead run. Sheard is there defensively to handle Teach. Alexander Teach came into the game with 93 yards rushing. Most of the rushing had been done by Marcus Curry.
Second down, 7. Market at 23.
3-yard pickup, second down 7. Ball at the 23-yard line. Washington split left. It's Curry, Doyle, and Teach now. Dobbs with it. He'll get to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line before Williams and Mustakas team up to drop it. And right now, the Naval Academy 3 of 8 on third down.
Yeah, and here you see Ricky Dobbs making the decision to keep the ball. It's a good decision, getting around to the outside. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, makeable situation for the Naval offense.
3rd and the short 4 here. 1 minute into the third quarter. It'll be Finnerty, Curry, the slot backs. Teach is the fullback. Let's see what Dobbs does. Shoup is the wide receiver. And he keeps it. He's going to be dropped. That's Sheard, who will put him to the turf. It'll be spotted forward progress at about the 22-yard line, 23-yard line. And we have a Panther player limping off the field. That's Elijah Fields, number 4. And they're already thin at that free safety spot.
Boston 2, making 4th down, 6.
Aaron Smith is deep. Let's see if Delahook can get the foot into this one. He could not the last time he tried to punt. Much better. Did that hit a Panther? It hit somebody. It took
Yeah,
a quick.
it looked like it did. It looked like it went off his heel, but they got a lucky break and that ball rolling out of bounds on him.
So it'll be Pittsburgh football, a good field position at about the 47-yard line, just a 29-yard punt. Maybe he was still thinking about the one that he did not kick.
Yeah, I think he was. And you know what? For Navy to come out and go 3 and out, it's kind of tough. Here you see the keys to the game that Pittsburgh had. They want to try and make every snap count on offense. And to this point, they have. The running game wasn't working, and they went with the passing game, and they got that. They're trying to limit big plays. They've only allowed one play right there of 20-plus yards. And they forced a turnover and are forcing Navy to get in those negative-type plays that they can't crawl out of.
Wide receivers are Turner and Sadler. Byam is the tight end. Hanoski is the fullback. Behind the freshman, who kind of leans forward, gets to almost the 50 before being driven back. Lewis will pick up maybe a yard on the play. Nishak, number 59 there defensively, and you also saw in the picture Haybearer.
Short game. Second down.
Lewis now 12 carries, 43 yards, so not the big day that he had last week against Buffalo.
Yeah, and that's a true fact because they haven't had to have him run the ball. When they've stopped the run, they've had to rely on the pass, and it's working, so they've stuck with it.
Double tight, Byam and Dickerson. Play fake, quick pass, and it's incomplete. Intended on the near side to Oderick Turner, but they really got in that time on the quarterback stall, and he had to get rid of it in a hurry.
Yeah, they did. I mean, anytime you get a chance for a quarterback as accurate as he is to set up, set his feet, and get the throw off. He gets pressure in his face. He's leaning away from the throw. Can't get enough on it to get it out to the receiver, who probably would have gained 3 or 4 yards, making it a little bit third and manageable situation for them.
Instead, it's 3rd down and 9 from the 49 near midfield. 3 wide receiver formation as Stull goes to the shotgun. McGee, Turner, Dickerson, and Baldwin out there. 2 of 5 on 3rd down of the Panthers. Can he hang on? Not quite. Schaefer was there defensively, and that was McGee who had it, Drew, briefly, but he couldn't hold on.
Yeah, Cedric McGee probably wishes he had this one back. It's a great play call. They brought a little bit of a blitz, went zone behind it. Cedric McGee gets into the middle of the field, just doesn't corral the ball. That 3rd down conversion would have moved it in. There was a little deflection on it as far as a concentration point, but as a wide receiver, if that ball hits your hands, you got to come down with it, especially there at that point in the field. They would have had the ball near the 30-yard line going in first down.
Hutchins to punt. Washington deep, standing just outside his own 10-yard line. We are in the third quarter, 12:19 to play here on ESPN360.com. Angling it toward the near sideline. Fair catch called for and made at the 16. That's where Navy will set it up with 12:11 remaining third quarter. After a 36-yard punt, the Midshipmen will have it. From the 16-yard line, 1st down 10 for the Naval Academy. Glad to have you with us tonight on ESPN360.com. Very unusual start time, though, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, a little strange, but you know what? They try and go out and execute. You know, these kids come in. It's a great evening here in Pittsburgh. Gorgeous night. Fans came out. It's exciting to see. You know what? For Navy to go 3 and out on the first possession, but have their defense step up and make a play. It's no harm, no foul. They have the ball back, moving out. Let's see what they do.
Wide receivers, Myers and Jones split right side. And about 5 on the play that time by Dobbs. Mustakas made the tackle for Pittsburgh. And we have called Gus's name a lot here tonight.
Yeah, he's made a lot of plays, you know, trying to get out there. You have a great guy coming off from last week. You know, when you get anybody that misses the defense, Adam Gunn, last week's Big East Defensive Player of the Week, is out today. Had sustained a left ankle injury, and Mustakas has come in there, stepped up, made some big plays for that defense today.
And of course, they're missing linebacker Scott McCullough, who's with the 49ers, and he was the Player of the Year defensively last year in the Big East Conference. Dobbs follows his running back and is knifed down after a gain of a couple. Carrageen is there along with Dan Mason. It'll be 3rd down. And the defense for Pittsburgh steps up pretty good.
They are. They're running their stunts. They're coming into those A-gaps like they did in the first half. They're not being surprised by that inside run, but what Navy's doing, if they try and establish that, that's what's kind of keeps them guessing, keep them on their heels. They can get to that outside level, hopefully, in the next couple series.
3rd and 4, Curry and Doyle, the slot backs. Teaches the fullback. You've got Myers and Washington, the wideouts, both split to the right side. 3rd and 4. Curry takes the toss, trying to get outside.
They didn't get the play off.
Nope.
Flag on the play.
Delay of game.
It's a delay of game call against the Naval Academy.
Yeah, and that's that negative play we talked about. It is very crucial for Navy. For 3rd and 4, that's what they do. That's how they are successful. That's how they convert on 3rd down. For them to get a delay of game, maybe the play got in a little late, you don't know, but for them to go from 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 9, very difficult.
Puts a lot more pressure on Dobbs, who'll probably be looking to pass on 3rd and 9.
Definitely. It doesn't keep the defense guessing. You know, it makes it harder on the offense and easier on the defense.
Washington split to the right side as they tighten it up in the backfield a little bit. Finnerty and Curry are the slot backs. There's Curry in motion. Dobbs sets, and he's going to be ridden down right about the 20-yard line. You see Malloy was in there defensively for the Panthers. Mason was also there.
Yeah, Pitt's defense came out definitely. They made some adjustments at halftime. They're a lot more stout up there in the middle, and they're not allowing that inside penetration that they had in the first half.
It'll be Delahook to kick. Aaron Smith will be deep. Smith has been doing number 3 all the punt returning. This is just the 3rd punt for the Naval Academy tonight. Token pressure. Smith fair catch at the 41-yard line.
Smith on the good catch.
Well, the Panthers will have decent field position. 9:40 remaining, a 40-yard punt.
Immediate timeout.
Stay with us. We'll be back to Pittsburgh and Heinz Field with more on ESPN360.com. Panthers have the lead 21-7. You're looking at number 81. That is Nick Henderson. He's from Wexford, Pennsylvania. His brother Wes is also on the team as a freshman defensive lineman. The interesting story about the Henderson brothers, their older brother had a scholarship to go to the Air Force Academy, and keep in mind their dad was an Air Force fighter pilot, and the brothers went to Navy, but unfortunately for the older brother, first day of senior year in high school, he was killed in a car crash, and the two decided at that time they would commit to military service, and they're both on this academy team. Up the middle running to about the 45-yard line. Lewis, Simmons made the tackle. So you can bet that mom and dad are here to watch.
Yeah, I'm very proud.
Jabari Tawani on the tackle for Navy. 8 of 3. 2nd down, 7, marking at the 45.
Hynoski's the fullback, and Lewis will be the tailback. Baldwin and Turner will be the wide receivers. Byam is the tight end, behind Bill Stull, who's been terrific here tonight. 2nd down for Pittsburgh. They fake a little delayed handoff. The pass right on target and bobbled by Baldwin. Can't throw it much better than that.
No, he's putting on the money. You know, I was kind of expecting Navy to bring a little bit of pressure. They did their zone blitz. You know, they bring pressure from the outside. They drop into zone behind it, like we said, because they don't have enough guys that can play man coverage. And Baldwin helps them out there. I mean, that's a great throw. You got to come down with that ball. He's made plays all night. I'm sure he likes to have that one back. But now we have third down. And I'm curious to see if Navy brings pressure again and goes to that same look, because there are holes in that zone defense behind those blitzes.
Dickerson is in there. He's in motion. McGee is in the backfield as well. And the pass is caught. Down to the 40-yard line. That was Turner. Derek Turner, number 88. Derek is a redshirt senior from New Jersey. Well, his throws have been right on the money, haven't they?
They really have. And you know what the difference? You can see the difference between the separation. I know they're running zone coverage, so it's not as tight as Pittsburgh's defenders are doing, but when they can settle in a zone and Stoll can sit back there with no pressure on them and make those throws, it makes it real easy on them.
Stoll now over 200 yards passing. Baldwin, Turner, the wide receivers. Hynoski, Lewis in the backfield. This is Lewis sweeping left side. Steps over a defender and is dropped for a loss. That was Edwards who was there.
Yeah, that was a great play by Kevin Edwards right there. You know, coming off from the corner, you see those big guys coming out at you on a wide sweep play. His eyes had to get real big, I'm sure, but he came in there, went low, took out the blocker that was coming to get him, and at the same time, he actually took out the running back as well. You can see him disrupt the play coming here. The big tackle comes out, he goes low, trips him up, and actually gets a piece of the running back, and Deion Lewis goes down as well.
13 of 18 for quarterback Stoll on second down and long. Stoll has had a lot of time to throw the football, and he finds another open receiver out at the 31-yard line. Derek Turner made the catch. Middleton and Pospisil there defensively for the Naval Academy.
And what we're seeing develop, John, is very easy. Navy is focusing on the run. They're stopping the run, and what is that doing? That's opening up these passing lanes. They're not getting any pass rush on him. He's sitting back there. He's comfortable, and he's basically picking apart this defense.
It is third down. They're still going with Baldwin and Turner at the wide receivers. Out of the I formation, Lewis. No, it's a keeper by the quarterback Stoll, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. It was a good fake. Pospisil came in there defensively along with Burge for the Naval Academy.
What's the amazing thing about that is they kept 8 guys in the block, only set 2 out on the route, and that's the first time they've had pressure like that.
That's right. They have not had much pressure at all. Now checking into the lineup for the Panthers. McGee is there along with Dickerson. Stoll will set a 4th down and long yardage. 4th and 7. Panthers converted their only other 4th down play. 4 wide receivers or 4 receivers in this formation as they go from the gun. Stoll's pass is complete, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Baldwin again makes another catch. Carter and Pospisil on the tackle. But Baldwin has just been all over the field tonight. He had 7 catches on the year coming into this ball game, and he has been terrific this season.
He really has. He makes plays for them. He's their playmaker. He's their athlete. And on 4th down, you see that Stoll has the confidence to go to him.
Well, he's got 6 catches for 109 yards. Dickerson is the tight end in this formation. They hand to Lewis. He'll stutter step, now turn, keep his feet down to the 15-yard line. How about that run?
Tough kid. You know what? That impresses me. That goes to show, you know, he's not getting the breaks that he was the first couple weeks, but for him to just keep fighting, follow his guard, be patient. He's not going down. You know what? He's got a lot of determination, and like Dave Wannstedt said, this kid is wise and mature beyond his years.
2nd and short for the Panthers as they drive for another touchdown with 5.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh already on top in this game, 21-7. Clock is moving. Byam, the tight end, the fake to Lewis, the throw for the end zone is too tall. Incomplete, intended for Baldwin, and he can go high, but not quite that high. Middleton was there defensively.
And Stull's actually lucky he didn't throw that ball on target.
Yeah.
He may have been trying to lead, him back a little bit, trying to get Baldwin not to go as far into the route. They had it pretty well covered, and they had the underneath coverage as well. Now it's a big third down here if they can maybe hold him and force him to a three-point try.
See if they go to the run now. They'll line up in the I formation. Hanoski ahead of Lewis, and it's going to be a quarterback sneak and plenty of room there for Stull to pick it up. That will keep the drive alive for the Panthers. First down and 10 coming up. I'll tell you what, this quarterback, Bill Stull, has had a pretty good evening.
Yeah, he really is. He's one of our impact players we highlighted before the game. You talk about his accuracy, his completion, and just composure. He's a senior. He's been out there. He's in the ranks as far as getting into the top 10 as far as passing yardage in the history of Pitt. He's a great quarterback.
Now, two tight ends, Dickerson and Byam in there, and along with Baldwin and Turner, the wideouts. This is Lewis trying that right side. Leans forward to about the 11-yard line. He'll get about one. Carter's there to make the tackle for Navy. So Lewis keeps adding to his total. This will be the 12th play of what has been so far, Drew, a time-consuming drive for the Panthers.
It really has, and it's ill-timed for Navy. I mean, their defense wanted to come out there after Pitt's defense forces Navy to kick the ball away twice. You're hoping Navy can come out, get one more stop, and try and get Navy the ball in their hands with the attempt to make it a 7-point game.
5 minutes and counting on this drive. That's Dickerson, the tight end in motion. This is Lewis. And he'll fight to close to the 10, maybe the 11. Haberer made the tackle, number 50, a senior. And remember, there are no red shirts for Navy.
No, none at all. And that's the thing. I mean, they have been really, really strong against the run. You can see on this play where Deion Lewis gets in there. Looks like there might be a little bit of a window. We have a slight missed block. They're coming in. They're flying to the football. There's no quit in these Navy kids.
Ball is spotted at the 11-yard line. Clock running, third down and 8. McGee, Baldwin, Turner, the wide receivers, Dickerson in there as well. So he's got his best receivers out there throwing far side, and it's incomplete, intended for the tight end, Doran Dickerson. Well, that's going to put the Pitt team in a kicking situation.
49 Shaper at coverage brings up a 4th down and 8. Dan Hutchins will set the Panther field goal.
So setting up will be Dan Hutchins for the field goal. This will come from the 19, make it a 29-yard field goal. Ball is down, the kick is up. It's plenty long, and it's good.
Field goal is good.
Dave Wanstead likes that because it adds to the lead for the Panthers. It was a long time-consuming drive. The only thing they didn't get was a touchdown. Instead, they do get the field goal. They add to the lead here at Heinz Field in downtown Pittsburgh. We focus in on a 24-7 lead now for the Pitt Panthers, thanks to that 29-yard field goal. It was a time-consuming drive for Pittsburgh. They ate up a lot of the clock, but the Midshipmen are still here and they're still ready to play.
They are. They're a bend but don't break defense. They've had a couple stops this half, and they didn't let them get in. Obviously, this field goal going through the uprights. It's a win for Navy, though. I mean, if they can hold them to 3 points, get the ball back to their offense and see what they can do.
Briggs will kick it off. Green and Finity are the deep men. You saw the drive of 6 minutes and 18 seconds. They didn't get 7, but they got 3. And so far tonight, Luke Briggs has had a very strong leg. Been able to kick it to around the goal line most of the night. This will be Gigi Green from the 6. Takes a hit, but keeps on going. The flag is down on the play. Defensively, Ricky Gary there, a defensive back. And Dobbs, we talked about his passing, but so far tonight, Drew, he's only 2 for 7. So it's not been there for Dobbs so far this evening. A lot of time
During
left.
return, block in the back, number 25 on the receiving team. 10 yards.
Well, the block in the back will set the Midshipmen back. Let's take a look on our replay. Coach Niamata Lolo not happy with that. That's a pretty good shove from behind, isn't it?
It is pretty blatant when the ball carrier is running right in front of you. You know, one of those old adages is when the guy passes you, if he's ahead of you, closer to the ball carrier, it's best to just kind of raise your hands up, kind of ride him out, and don't touch him because the ref's going to call that every time.
Every time, and they did. The ball back at the 10 now. Curry, Doyle, Teach in this triple option formation. And it's Dobbs with it. He'll get a yard, maybe 2 before he's pushed down. Fields was there. Gruder was there as well for the Panthers, whose defense, for the most part, except for that one long run, has held up pretty well.
They really have. And during the last break, when Pitt's defense came off the field after stopping Navy, Coach Wanstead, I watched him come over to the sidelines, high-five and shaking the guy's hands individually, one at a time, going down the bench, saying, "Good job, defense. Keep it up." He knows they are what keeping him in the game right now.
Green has taken Curry's spot at one of the slot backs for the Midshipmen. Straight ahead, Williams decks Teach. Teach will get maybe a yard, and that's about all. Ball is still inside the 15. It'll be spotted at the 14-yard line.
And you see what was working for them early isn't working for them as much. I don't know if there's tendencies or keys that they're going off of, but those defensive tackles, it's almost like they know where the ball is going, you know? I mean, and Dobbs got to make that decision. He's the catalyst. He's got to kind of see what's going on the inside and possibly keep that ball and go around to the outside.
Washington and Myers now are the wideouts. Green, Doyle, and Teach in the backfield. That was Green in motion. The throwback, oh, that was set up for an interception, but Chappelle was right, and you know he was thinking 6 on that play.
He was, and actually his own teammate probably is the one that stopped him from making that play. I mean, it's unfortunate, but Greg Ramius right there, you'll see him go up. As he blocks that, oh, I don't know. He might have a little conversation with his buddy after the game. I think he's a little frustrated there. Could have gotten in the paper tomorrow.
Absolutely. He had interception. He had touchdown in his mind. This should be good field position for Pitt. Delahook's kick, a pretty good one.
Returnable. Ooh.
No, they're going to get away from it. It takes a good Navy bounce. He'll be down at about the 23-yard line. Coming down to cover was Mitchell on the play.
Yeah, those are the punts when you get those low line drives, not a lot of hang time, good protection on the back end. Those are the ones that are returners' dreams because they know that the coverage team can't get down there fast enough. And you kind of heard it from the crowd, a couple of murmurs basically saying, you probably should have caught that one, buddy.
But Aaron Smith stepped away from it. It'll be spotted at the 23. First down for the Panthers. Just 1:40 left in the third quarter. We know what they'd like right here, Drew, is another one of those 6+ minute drives.
Exactly. Eat up some clock, get into the fourth quarter, and win this ball game.
Sunseri is now in there at quarterback number 12, replacing Stahl. That'll be no gain, maybe a loss. Graham, the other freshman running back, is tied up by Haberer and Sovey. Son of Sal Sunseri, who's a coach at Alabama, I believe, right?
Yeah, they come from a great family, great stock, and you see this too with the run plays. We talked about at the beginning about them wanting to stop the run. Navy's been successful. They've stopped the run. They've forced them to make these throws, and with Stahl out there and his accuracy, it's been almost counterproductive for them. Now they're forcing him to throw, and they're making these completions. Let's see what they do here on second down.
Well, they kicked Byram, the tight end, from one side to the other. The other tight end is Dickerson. He has moved to the right side. Here comes some pressure, dumps it off, pass is complete. 25-27-yard line.
Tino Sunseri's pass complete.
So Sunseri able to complete the pass. That was Graham out of the backfield. The other tailback, the other freshman tailback for the Panthers. And the Panthers now with third down and long are 4 of 10 on third down, but they've got a comfortable lead right now at 24-7. Baldwin and Turner, the wide receivers. They're going to the left side. McGee and also Dickerson. Basically 3 receivers in this formation for Sunseri. He's got Graham behind him. Sunseri sets, feels a little pressure, dumps it off. And again, it's a short pass to Graham, and he's drilled on the play by Carter.
Blake Carter, what a great play he has right here. I mean, this is instincts. This is what you can't teach. These are innate characteristics. He feels the screen, sees the guys coming out, cuts underneath the defender, and makes the play. Because if he doesn't make that play, there's nobody behind that.
That is going to wind up the third quarter of play. The Panthers get 3 more to add to their lead here at Heinz Field. This matchup between the Naval Academy and the Panthers of Pittsburgh being dominated for the most part by Pitt 24-7. We'll head to the final 15 minutes after this. We start the fourth quarter. Hutchins will be on to punt. Washington is deep. The blue and gold, so far so good. Looking for win number 3 in a row. It'll be the first time since 2000 that they have opened with 3 straight victories. And trying to beat the Naval Academy for the second straight year. You recall 2 years ago in 07, it was a double overtime victory for the Midshipmen.
Yeah, in dramatic fashion, no less. And this is crucial here. You know, I mean, Navy's not going to give up anything right now. They're going to stick to their game plan. They do what they do. They execute. They're going to try and march down the field, see if they can get some points on the board, and try and make it interesting on the stretch run.
A little Neil Diamond for the folks in the stands, and they're loving it.
I think we're loving it up here too, you know.
Now, who doesn't know the words to this song?
I don't know.
Now for the punt. Washington deep. A little pressure by the Midshipmen. This one is going to go out of bounds. We'll see exactly where they spot it. The official will come back into the Pittsburgh side of the field. Walking all the way down to about the 35-yard line. Is that right?
Wow.
Only a 14-yard punt, and the ball's going to be at the 36. There are the numbers from the third quarter of play. The big difference, of course, is in the passing situation.
It really is. You know, we've reiterated it time and time again. They've stopped the run. Navy focused on that, but they cannot stop the pass.
Curry Infinity of the slot backs teaches the fullback. Dobbs.
Got him down the middle of the field.
Yes, he does. He's open, and it's too strong, just overthrown. Intended for Curry out of the slot position. Fields was down there defending, but Curry had him beat.
He really did. Great play call. Misdirection. They run the counter option, and off of the counter option, they slip Marcus Curry down the middle of the field. Safety got a little eager. We haven't called their names a lot this game. He gets behind him. Dobbs just a little bit overthrown.
The Field's getting the start at free safety in the absence of Andrew Taglianetti, whose dad was a great hockey player for the Penguins. Second down 10. Straight drop by Dobbs. Pump fake. He's in trouble. He'll be sacked. Back outside the 40. Romeus leading the way along with Dan Mason.
Number 40, Dan Mason.
And that's a classic case, John. You know, you see that. You see the first play when they tried to pass the ball, it was off a misdirection. When they go to a straight drop back, get into a 5-step drop, and Pitt's bringing pressure, they are not built for that. This is something that they have to adjust to. They're trying to get out of it, but they can't with the score being what it is in the fourth quarter coming down the stretch.
Navy with a third down and 15.
Third down coming up, long yardage, 3rd and 15. Panthers defense has stood tall since giving up that early touchdown. Dobbs rolls, throws.
Dobbs complete.
He hang on. They made the catch. That was Washington. Covered there by Fields, but he picks up the first down. That was a pretty good throw by Dobbs.
Oh, phenomenal. Rolling to his right. Watch the velocity on this ball.
Wow, he got it between 2 defenders, too.
And he put it where the ball needs to be, on the outside shoulder of the receiver. That accuracy on the run, that's his most impressive throw of the day.
It is a 17-yard pickup, and we've got a flag on the play as Dobbs gets into the secondary of the Panthers.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 53 on the offense. Still first down.
False start called against Andy Lark, the right guard for Navy. Coach Niamata Lolo took over the team after the win over Army and coached them in the bowl game last year. He had been around the program, though, as an assistant coach, associate head coach for a while.
Yeah, and at 44, he's one of the youngest coaches in the country and done a great job with this program and takes pride in what he does.
Curry in motion. And that handoff goes to Teach, the fullback. Romeus and Sheard, the defensive ends for the Panthers, make the tackle. It'll be second down and long yardage.
First drive when Teach was carrying the ball time and time again, keeping them on their toes. They've really clamped down on the inside. They've stopped that run, and you're just waiting. You're waiting for that counter again. You're waiting for that counter option. You saw the pass off of it. Will they go back to it to the wide side?
Washington and Jones, the wide receivers. Slot backs are Curry and Doyle. Teach is the fullback, and Dobbs will pull it back. Look downfield. Again, overthrown, but a flag on the play. Let's see if they call interference on Ricky Gary. You look at this Navy offense. They scored 27 against Ohio State, 32 unanswered against Louisiana Tech, and tonight they have but 7. That's a credit to the Panther defense.
Defense number 26. 15 yards and 3
on Ricky Gary.
First down.
I'd like to look at that one again.
Yeah, that's you know what, players making contact down the field. I don't know. They're fighting for the ball. There is that zone you don't want to be able to touch, but you know, Washington reaches out a little bit. That may have been a little ticky-tack there.
Yeah, it wasn't a blatant.
No, it wasn't something that's going to stand out to you as far as being blatant interference. And you can tell Dave Wannstedt's not too pleased with that call.
Well, it's a good break for the Naval Academy because they're going to get good field position and the first down. The ball will be spotted inside the 15-yard line at the 14 for a 1st and 10.
It'll be a 15-yard penalty.
It is a 15-yard penalty. And Dave Wannstedt again getting a little verbal with the officials. So the ball's going to be down at the 12, 1st and 10. Jones and Shoup are the wide receivers. Curry in motion. Dobbs puts his head down and gets to about the 6. Dom DeSico came up and made the tackle. It'll be second down.
31, Don DeSico had the tackle for Pitt.
DeSico's a phenomenal player last week against Buffalo. I think he had 12 tackles. He had a couple blocks last year. His younger brother's a freshman on the team, part of 3 brother tandems that are on this Pitt team.
Yeah, DeSico had 13 tackles coming into tonight and an interception. Curry, Doyle, and Teach are the running backs, and maybe changing the play is Dobbs at the line of scrimmage. Dobbs has it and doesn't know really where to go.
Dobbs keeps.
It's the first time he really hasn't looked very comfortable on that option play, and Sheard and Mustakas were there defensively.
Yeah, that penetration up front, anytime that center, we talk about the center getting to the second level. If they don't allow that center, if they plug that gap in the middle, that really just cripples the entire offense for him, because Ricky Dobbs will not allow to have that decision-making process happen as quickly as he wants.
It is 3rd and a couple for the Naval Academy. Curry takes the pitch, looking for the end zone, and he will dance in for a score.
And a late hit to boot.
And the blocking led by Finity, the other slot back who got out there to make the block. And Dave Wannstedt has seen that lead cut into now. 24-13 with the PAT coming up, and as you said, a flag on the field.
Yeah, he gets a nice kick out block there, but as he's going into the end zone, you see, that's just not necessary. He's 5 yards deep in the end zone. Touchdown's already happened.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul. Number 4 on the defense.
It was on Fields.
Will be forced on the kickoff.
And Dave Wannstedt again very unhappy. And give the midshipmen some credit. They've stayed with it. They drove it down, and they got their second touchdown.
They did. They're sticking with their game plan. They're keeping it simple. They're fighting their way. They're scratching and clawing. That's what these guys do. They never give up.
Buckley for the point after. Booms it up and through. So it's a 10-point Panther lead now here at Heinz Field, 24-14. And we still have about 11 and a half minutes left in this football game. That's a lot of time. We will move to a timeout here on ESPN360.com. Stay with us. Back with more in a moment. We are back, settling in for the remainder of this fourth quarter. A lot of time left. Along with Drew Haddad, I'm John Sanders. There's the Navy scoring drive. Took them 3 minutes and 26 seconds. And you've been saying all along that for Coach Niumatalolo and his midshipmen, there's no quit. They have not stopped playing.
No, they haven't. And you know what? They try and stick to the basics on both sides of the ball. But for them to come down, march down the field, get their deepest penetration that they've had since the first quarter of their opening drive, scoring drive, you know, it's good to see them coming down. Did they get a little bit of help on the interference call? Probably. But they keep fighting. They keep going at it. Now they're down 10 points with 11.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. They're well within reach of Pitt. Can they get a stop on this drive?
And remember, they're going to kick off from the 45-yard line because of the penalty in the end zone.
45-yard line. John
Teague will kick off. Sadler and Reed are deep.
22.
Sadler, a redshirt freshman who was hurt last year, but in his high school days at Gateway, he was an outstanding kick returner. See what he can do if he gets the ball. And it'll be too deep in the end zone. Bobbled away out of the back of the end zone, so it'll come out to the 20, and that'll bring on the Pitt offense. Let's see what they do in the quarterback spot. I have to think that Bill Stull is going to come back out because he's having a great night.
Yeah, I would think you'd see him here. You know, they got the young guy a little bit of a look, and you know, they unfortunately for Pitt, they went 3 and out. They didn't get a chance to get many completions down the field. Stull's going to come back in here. He's their leader. He's their quarterback. See if they can sustain a little bit of drive and eat some clock. That's really what they want to do with this drive, is knock some clock off.
We are in Heinz Field in downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on this beautiful Saturday night. Along with Drew Haddad, I'm John Sanders. Glad you could join us. Thanks to our entire ESPN360.com crew. Well, that's going to be a good game for a first down. Fighting his way across the 40. Hauser led it. But how about Cam Sadler? He's not very big. He's 5'7", 170 pounds, a redshirt freshman. He gets 15 yards on that play.
Yeah, and it was great. You know, misdirection. We haven't talked about misdirection at all with Pitt's offense tonight. They've been doing everything straightforward. This time, they get the ball in an end around. Great blocking downfield. It was just a great play call and way to keep, obviously, for them to keep Navy on their toes for the first time tonight.
Back to the double tight formation with Byam and Dickerson, the two tight ends. McGee is in there along with Baldwin, the wide receivers for Pittsburgh. Lewis is back in at the tailback. He'll get the football and fights his way to about the 40, so he'll pick up about 6 on the play before he's tackled. That was Schaefer, one of the backup linebackers on the outside, who finally made the tackle.
Yeah, and this is eerily familiar to last week against Buffalo. What they did is they kind of started grinding it out. You know, Dion was getting a couple carries here and there, 6'5", 6 yards, and then all of a sudden he broke an 85-yarder for a touchdown and sealed the game.
Lewis tonight, 8 carries, 60 yards so far. Straight ahead running by the fullback. That's Hinoski, who gets inside the 50 down to about the 47-yard line. That was a quick opener that worked out well up the middle.
It really did. You know, they're kind of beating Navy with what Navy does. It's a little bit different. Try and get in here. They're almost showing a little bit of an inside zone, little counteraction, get a trap for the fullback, and wait, and he finishes the run, running over Merchant right there. It's a great play call, great misdirection, 2 straight times, and they're keeping the ball on the ground. The clock is ticking away, and they're going to their running game.
Haberer had a shot at him early in that run, and he got away. Lewis, Hinoski in the backfield, Turner and Baldwin the wide receivers. Byam is the tight end. Stull back in on this series after Sinceri was quarterbacking the last series. The throw short and out of bounds goes the fullback Hinoski, ridden out on the play by the Naval Academy. That is Schaefer, one of the linebackers who was covering him. And the pressure supplied by Tuani.
Yeah, and you see him just kind of sneak out of the backfield there. Real safe throw.
There's the mix that we've had for the Panthers. So if the Naval Academy was looking for all runs, they've had more passes than runs. 2 tight ends in this formation. 3 receivers set. McGee and Baldwin are the wideouts. And it's Lewis, the lone setback. And Lewis will get the football, fights his way to the 40, and that's all. Pospisil is there. But Lewis working hard for those yards.
And he may have lost the ball there at the end of the run. I think he recovered it himself. I saw the ref throw a bag down, but yeah, Pospisil, haven't said his name as much the second half. He's still flying around, trying to make plays. A turnover here for them, and ball security on the other side for Pitt has to be precedent right now.
Inside 9 minutes to go. It is 3rd down and 4. And they empty the backfield. 4 receiver formation for Stull, who has been terrific tonight. Stull looks, throws, catch made, first down inside the 30. Merchant is there defensively, but it's a big gain for Pittsburgh. Great job by number 80, the tight end Nate Byam. Keep in mind, Byam had not caught a pass this year until tonight.
Yeah, and coming off an all Big East performer last year, finding a hole in the zone, just sitting down, understanding what the defense is giving you and taking that. And, he does a great job there and still finds them. Big third down conversion for Pitt.
Back to the I formation. Baldwin and Turner now the wideouts, 1 to each side out of the I. Hynoski ahead of Lewis. And the handoff down to about the 20-yard line. Haberer comes up to make the hit, but Dion Lewis picks up some positive yardage, about 5, maybe 4 on the play.
Yeah, and this defense is getting tested. They're tired. They've had two drives of 10+ plays for their scoring drives tonight. They're just kind of chipping away at this defense. You see their hands on their hips, trying to get off the field. See if they can get a stop.
2 tight ends, Byam and Dickerson. And Pospisil was also in on that tackle. They've got Baldwin and Turner out there as well. And the lone setback is going to get the football. Lewis runs into the stack and then gets outside. He bounces it down that sideline. Finally forced out of bounds by Yarbrough. They have used over 4 minutes on this drive, and that's what they wanted in the 4th quarter.
It is. Sustain a drive, get the clock going. Like I said, Navy's defense, they're a little bit tired, maybe not flying around, breaking tackles, and you know what? This is the part where you want them to finish. We talk about Navy, we talk about these kids being resilient. This is what it is, the bend but don't break theory. Let's see what they can do down here close to the goal line with their backs against the wall.
And how about the job that Lewis did running that football when he ran into the pile, had the sense enough to bounce outside and pick up the first down. Straight ahead running, Hynoski down close to the goal line. Middleton made the tackle for Navy, but Hynoski with a lot of room right up the gut.
He's a big, strong, powerful runner, and like we said the last time, if he's making the tackles down by the goal line, it's probably not a good thing if your safety's making that stop. Hit the ball at the goal line, probably 2 yards to go for a touchdown. We'll see what they do here.
Hauser out in front with a good block along that offensive line. A lot of arm tackling on that situation for Navy. Lewis sticks his head in there and he'll come up about a yard short of the TD. Edwards, number 15, the first to get to him. Lewis has 1 touchdown tonight, looking for more.
Gain of 1.
It is 3rd and about 1.
And as a lineman, John, this is what they live for. Coming down here, goal line, man on man, who's going to win?
The Panthers are 5 of 12 on 3rd down tonight. Double tight with Cruz and Byam this time. So this is definitely a running formation. It'll be Lewis, and he's not going to get there.
Lewis carries.
Pospisil leading the way, number 51. You see him get up. Middleton was in there as well, number 8 for Navy.
And you see right there the penetration and driving the Pitt offensive lineman back into the backfield, causing a mishap in the backfield. This crowd and these players want them to go for it.
Estelle will come over and have a word with Dave Wanstead. Well, the plus side is this is the second drive that's been over 6 minutes long here in the second half.
Yeah, they're doing what they want to do. They're going to let this play clock run down, maybe call a timeout and make a decision, see what they're going to decide.
And the play clock at 2, 1, and they got the timeout before the penalty.
Timeout, Pitt. That's their first charge.
It is the first timeout taken by the Panthers here in the second half.
Media timeout.
The Naval Academy trying to battle back in the 4th. Just over 5 minutes to play, and Pitt has the lead, 24-14. Hutchins is on the field, getting set to line up a 19-yard field goal attempt with 5:05 to play here in the final quarter of football between the Naval Academy and the Panthers of Pittsburgh. 29-yarder earlier. It's been the only scoring for Pitt in the second half. They lead at 24-14 over the Naval Academy. Hutchins coming into the game just 1 field goal of 26 yards. So he's yet to miss this year. And he's got a an angle here he's got to deal with. From the 19, good. He line drive that one through, didn't he?
Yeah, he wanted to take all the mystery out of it, put it through as fast as possible.
He didn't put a lot of loft on that.
No,
one.
he didn't. It's like,
yes.
yeah, he had a little lean going on there. It's like when you get your putter out, you know, you got that 3-footer for a skin, and you just kind of want to put it in the back and take the break out of it. Same thing. He's got a little angle. He decided to power through the break.
Well, he powered that one across for his second field goal here in the second half, and that has accounted for the Panthers scoring. The only touchdown of the second half belongs to the Naval Academy.
Yeah, you've seen in consecutive drives, Navy's defense giving up chunks, long drives, Pittsburgh kind of wearing them out. But when they get down tight, Navy's defense has really remained stout, and they forced 2 field goals. They've only had 6 points on all those drives in the second half. And, you know, compromising that with Navy's touchdown, maybe, you know, there is a little bit of time left, 5 minutes. If Navy can get on the board, like they were talking about before, don't allow the big play. If Navy can get a big play and make it 27-21, we'll see what happens.
There's the top 10. Florida, a winner. Texas playing Texas Tech and USC. Southern Cal, a loser. Alabama won. Ole Miss is leading. Penn State won. BYU is down. Minnesota defeated California. LSU is winning 14-3. Boise State beating Fresno State. Green is deep. Fields the ball inside the 10 at the 8. And what the Naval Academy needs here is a good kick return. Not bad on the effort.
Out near the 25-yard line.
Trevitz made the tackle on the special teams. The Panthers have the lead. We have less than 5 to play fourth quarter.
For the Panthers, 34.
Navy will have the football now from their own 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Curry, Doyle will be the slot backs. Teach is the fullback. Shoup and Jones the wide receivers. Behind quarterback Ricky Dobbs, who has gone the distance tonight for the Naval Academy.
Navy's ball, 1st and 10 from their 24-yard line.
Midshipmen have the ball into the hands of Dobbs, their quarterback. Straight drop this time. Looking down the right side, and he overthrows everybody. It was intended for Jones. Seco was there covering for the Panthers. That wasn't too close. And let's face it, Ricky Dobbs has not had a real good night throwing the football.
No, he really hasn't. That's another one of those cases where he does a 5-step drop, tries to get rid of the ball. They ran a little hitch corner where they send the outside guy in a hitch. They send the inside receiver on a corner route. Ricky was anticipating that throw a little bit, got a little eager, got to his 5th step and let go of the ball because he had a little pressure in his face.
He is just 3 of 11 so far, passing 36 yards. He's got Curry, Doyle in the slot backs, Murray the fullback. Quick step to the right, and that pass is also incomplete. Intended for Curry out of the slot back position. Elijah Fields getting a lot of coverage. They are working him over pretty good. He is starting tonight in place of Andrew Taglianetti, who went out with a knee injury.
And you can see Ricky Dobbs there after that throw. He's visibly upset with himself. That ball got away from him a little bit. You've seen him lead these guys a little bit. And you know something? I mean, 3 of 12 right now after that throw. For them to come back right now, they're obviously telling them you got to win this game with your arm as well as your legs.
Jones and Washington now are the wideouts. Murray, Doyle, Finnerty. Hit as he throws, and it falls well short. So the previous 2 passes were overthrown. That time, with the pressure from Chappelle, he came up short.
Yeah, and Chappelle gave him a little shot there. You can see once he gets back to the back of his drop, gets hit, gets his legs taken out from underneath him. Unfortunately, the receiver didn't look back early enough to see that ball was a little bit underthrown, and he made the adjustment.
Chappelle was down there defensively for the Panthers. It's 4th down and 10 after 3 incomplete passes.
Timeout, Navy.
And the Naval Academy will take the timeout. Coach Niamata Lolo now trying to figure out something, anything, Drew, with 4:41 to go.
Yeah, a little little uncharacteristic here. You know, after a third down play, obviously Navy comes out. They go 3 times in a row with the 5-step drop with Ricky Dobbs, getting the ball out of his hands, trying to stretch it down the field. That just isn't them. They're kind of trying to force things. And you know what? Unfortunately, a couple series ago when they went down the field on a counter action and they had that option, they snuck Curry out of the backfield, kind of get him down the center. This is what they need to do in order to be successful.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Midshipmen. They've got Western Kentucky, Air Force. They'll play at Rice, at SMU, and then on the 24th they've got Wake at home. And no punt here.
Yeah, looking like they're going for it. Call a timeout.
4th down 10. Dobbs feels pressure and he's down at the 25. Ball is loose. Williams is there, number 95. And the Panthers feeling it now. You see the reaction of Dan Mason, number 40, as he comes off, and they have really smothered Dobbs here in the second half.
They really have. And, you know, you see it there. Sometimes Ricky Dobbs can get out there, and on that little rollout where they kind of move the pocket to one side or another, it gives him that pass run option where he can use his feet in the passing game to get the first down. Pitt's defense just too quick and too fast to the ball.
Just over 4.5 minutes to play. Panthers in control. It is Sunseri again, number 12. The backup quarterback is in there. The Panthers, remember, keep in mind, as they run the ball straight ahead, Hynoski, the ball carrier, there's a flag down. A late flag comes into the play. Sharif Harris is in there as a running back now for the Panthers.
After the play, personal foul, number 77. That'd be 15 yards. Be second down.
That goes on Jason Pinkston, and unfortunately for Jason, that is the first time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, and you know, immediately when you see Dave Wanstead looking at the kid, and takes him out of the play. You can see him coming in from the right side over here. Number 77 comes in right there, twisting down, and finishes off the play at the tail end there. And Dave Wanstead coach team, the discipline side of that is something that he takes a lot of pride in. And that's why you're going to see on those type of penalties, he's going to pull you right out of the game.
Hynoski is in there along with Sharif Harris. And it's Harris on a little bit of a delay play. Simmons is there defensively. Sharif Harris, number 43.
Timeout, Navy.
Navy's going to call a timeout with 3:52 to play. They have not quit in this football game. It's 27-14. The Panthers lead the Midshipmen, and here's what's ahead. Trips to North Carolina State, Big East for the Panthers starts at Louisville, and then they'll play Connecticut and at Rutgers. So 3 of their next 4 will be away from Heinz Field.
Yeah, they will. And you see those 3 games, obviously, you know, they get 2 of those 3 games that are the Big East games on the road. And it's, you know, that's tough. Once you get into conference play, like you said, you want to iron out the wrinkles. What's really good here when you see you get Sunseri into the game, a redshirt freshman from Pittsburgh Central Catholic. He gets into the game, Wanstead can get his feet wet a little bit. If not for this year, Bill Stahl, if something happens to him, but also for next year, they can get a look at him, get him seasoned a little bit, because he is their future at quarterback here.
Well, not in the huddle was Baldwin. Maybe he knew what the play was already, so now he comes back to the huddle. You've got McGee, you've got Baldwin, you've got Turner, and of course Sharif Harris, number 43. He is the lone setback, and he's going to get the football on a delay. And this will bring up 4th down. Middleton and Tuwani were there defensively.
Timeout, Navy. That's the last
Navy will take their final timeout. This is going to be a 30-second timeout to stop the clock. Impact players, how about Stahl with 245 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Lewis with 79 yards rushing and a touchdown for him.
Yeah, you know what? They take one thing away with the run. Dion Lewis doesn't get his 100-yard game as of yet, but what you take away, you're getting with something else. Bill Stahl, His accuracy was 12 of 14 in the first half, finding Jonathan Baldwin, finding Derek Turner, trying to make this offense go. So you can see today that this offense, whether they're running the ball or passing the ball, is the reason they were favored in the Big East. They can do both.
And they played pretty good defense. Navy does have 2 touchdowns. One came in the first quarter when they tied the game, and the other one coming here in the fourth quarter. Hutchins will punt. Little pooch punt. Fielded at the 13-yard line. And out across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Washington on the return. Tackled by Reed, the backup defensive backs. And schools with presidents and Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Well, you've got Carter with Staubach, Gerald Ford, Tom Brady, Herbert Hoover, Jim Plunkett, John Elway, and Miami of Ohio, Benjamin Harrison, and how about Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah, I think he's had a couple games in this stadium where he's pulled it out, huh?
Yeah, certainly pulled out the Super Bowl for the Steelers. That pass is going to be complete. Shoup, wide receiver, made the tackle. Mike Shoup out of Erie, Pennsylvania, not too far to the north of Pittsburgh.
Another strong throw here. You know, he hasn't done it often tonight, but going to his left, sets his feet, throws the out, and it's a good job by Shoup there, getting upfield and getting out of bounds to stop the clock.
Jones and Washington, the wide receivers, and you saw Barry overrun that last play. Dobbs sets, throws, and there's nobody there. That was intended for the Pittsburgh bench. Sheard applied the pressure.
Yeah, that penetration came in there pretty quick. You know, that's tough for Ricky Dobbs. He gets back there, starts rolling out. You're seeing that opposite color coming at you. Plus, there's coverage on the backside. Smart play, veteran play, get rid of the ball, live to fight another down.
3:16 to go with the clock stopped. Ball at the 42-yard line, 2nd down 10. First full year for Niumatalolo. Washington and Myers are the wide receivers. Let's see what Dobbs does on 2nd and 10. There's movement on the right side of the line, and this one would be stopped in progress.
Yeah, G.G. Green got a little bit anxious there on the outside in the slot.
Prior to the snap, 21 on the offense, false start, 2nd down.
Yeah, and he goes right to the bench.
Yeah,
Green. That's not what you need in the fourth quarter.
No, it isn't. I mean, he's one of their seasoned players. You know, they look for him for certain things, and it's unfortunate.
2nd down 15. Myers and Washington, the wideouts. Dobbs. Down he goes. Inside the 30 at the 28, Dan Mason. Number 40 is there again. He's a true freshman from Penn Hills High School here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he makes a great play here. He gets the penetration back in there. Ricky Dobbs trying to roll that pocket again, but he's on a blitz. He sees his guy protected. He comes in to make the play.
Here's more pressure, but he gets the pass away for a completion. And diving for a first down on the play is Teach, and he's going to get it.
Yeah, I really like the way this kid plays ball, man. You know, he gets the ball, gets it in his hand. They set up a screenplay. They've been rushing all night long. Gets it in his hands, knows that he has to get to the sideline, get to the boundary, but doesn't go out of bounds right here. Gets upfield, dives for the first down, gets it really close, and they move the chain.
It is 1st and 10 on the Panther side of the 50. The ball at the 48. Again, Jones and Myers are the wideouts. Dobbs rolling to his right, looks right, and finally throws, and the catch is not made at the 23-yard line, intended for Myers. Barry was there defensively for Pitt. 2:19 to play. And the clock is a huge enemy as far as the midshipmen are concerned.
It really is. And if you watch these routes, these guys are getting downfield. They're so tightly covered that as Ricky Dobbs, he actually got some space there, and he got outside the pocket, had some room with his feet, and the receiver kind of drifted inside. Ricky made a great throw. Got to make those plays, especially in the fourth quarter going in to score.
Down by 13 now, 27-14 following that last Panther field goal. Dobbs again feels a little heat up the middle and throws incomplete. Intended for Washington, and Elijah Fields was right there with him for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's been all over the field for them tonight. You know, in their passing game, like we said, you know, he's had a lot of pass attempts. He's had a little bit more than what you normally would see. But you know what actually happens is anytime the pressure dictates what Ricky Dobbs does when he throws, he had a little bit of time there kind of anticipating these throws. We've been kind of saying that all night. He's anticipating the throw, not getting it right on money.
Still Myers and Washington as the wideouts. Teach is the fullback. Dobbs sets, looks, feels pressure, throws it, and the pass is complete. It's going to be a first down for Navy. Out of the backfield, it's Curry, one of the slot backs into the passing formation. After the 29-yard gain, they'll pick up 13 here and move the chains. Clock at 2:05.
Great job of mobility there by Ricky Dobbs. Kind of sidestepping that rush, feeling the pressure, moving to the side, and finding his open back sitting there in the zone.
Now remember, Navy does not have any timeouts remaining here in the final 2 minutes of this football game.
Second and 10 for Navy.
So it'll be a second down and 10. Ball is spotted at the 35-yard line. And again, it's Jones and Myers, the wideouts. Green and Finnerty are the slot backs. Behind the quarterback, Ricky Dobbs, who's gone the distance. Teach is the fullback. So it's second down 10. Dobbs looks right, rolls right, directing traffic and reaching in. A left hand was Barry to knock that one away. It was intended for Gary Myers, a wide receiver, but a good job defensively by, without getting any body contact, Barry got a hand in and knocked it away.
Another time they max protect, keep everybody back, two-man route. You can see him going to the corner up top. Guy staying short, trying to get a high-low read out of that defense. Make it easy. Make it one guy read for Ricky Dobbs to see where he can get rid of the football, but it was well defended by Pittsburgh.
It is third down and 10. Dobbs looking left, and down he goes. He is wrapped up by Greg Romius. The redshirt junior from Coral Springs, Florida, picks up the sack.
Yeah, what a game he's played. Little stunt, comes inside. Ricky Dobbs never had a chance to look down the field. Phenomenal play.
It's incomplete, intended for Washington, and they will turn the ball over to the Panthers. When you look at this Navy team, they have a lot of players from a lot of different states. But the Panthers, primarily 54 players on their roster from Pennsylvania.
That's a big key in recruiting. You know, you try and get those kids to stay home. You want to keep them local. You want to keep that local feeling, the vibe of everybody staying in the area. And Pennsylvania, you know, they got a great crop of kids coming out of this area for football. And, you know, they take pride in what they do here.
And many of them right here as they will go into the kneel down formation. 6 sacks for the Panther defense tonight, and Sinceri will take the knee. And the clock is inside, 1:30 remaining. No timeouts left for the Naval Academy. And our thanks to our fine ESPN360.com crew. And you see 6 takeaways, 211 yards allowed. And the Panthers have played pretty solid. They did give up a couple of touchdowns, and we gave the Naval Academy credit because they never quit in this football game, but they're going to run out of time.
Yeah, they are. You know what? They really executed well, and they did. You know, they took what Navy gave them. They wanted the passing game to work. They went to the passing game. They worked well with it and made plays down the field.
Another knee as the clock sits at 45 seconds. And a look at what's exclusive on ESPN360.com. Rhode Island at UConn, Wake at Boston College, TCU at Clemson, and Rutgers at Maryland. All of those games exclusively right here on ESPN360.com. Great to have you with us tonight. Along with Drew Haddad, I'm John Sanders, and Dave Wannstedt maybe can relax a little bit now. He's been a little agitated at times tonight.
Yeah, he has, but you know, this is a big victory. They come in here, you know, Navy's always on upset alert. They always can come in, but it was a great win for Pitt.
First time in this decade, excuse me, the second time in this decade that the Panthers opened the season 3-0. They did it in the year 2000. They have done it again here in the year 2009. So some of that respect that you talked about and that Steve Peterson talked about at halftime being shown right here as these two teams gather in the center of the field.
Yeah, there's a mutual respect between these two teams. A lot of respect for the kids and the players and the coaching staff. And you know what? It's a hard-fought game. Navy never gave up, but in the end, Pitt just proved to be too much.
Well, the Midshipmen outscored the Panthers 7-6 in the second half of this game, but it was not enough. So Pitt goes to 3-0, and they will take their show on the road for the next couple of weeks. Congratulations between the two quarterbacks. And certainly you could never fault a Navy team for effort.
Never do that. They came out here, they fought their behinds off, and you know what? Got a lot of respect for those guys. They'll play again next week, and they'll get the job done.
Well, Dave Wanstadt will head to the locker room. A happy coach because they start 3-0. And this makes the fans very, very happy. The final is 27-14. Pittsburgh a winner over the Naval Academy tonight here at Heinz Field in downtown Pittsburgh on a beautiful night for college football. For Drew Haddad and our entire ESPN360.com crew, I'm John Sanders. Thanks for watching. See you next time. The Panthers win it. They're 3-0 on the young season.